Welcome you all to a one-day workshop on digital marketing and branding roadmap for startups. And now I request Dr. AP Achar, CEO AIC Nitte, to give the opening remarks, sir.
Sir, Achar sir, unmute.
Good morning.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Good morning. So we are very fortunate to get Connie Mendoza as a speaker for this today's workshop. Connie Mendoza is a serial entrepreneur, a failed entrepreneur. Most important is out of several initiatives, he has failed, but he learned a lot of things from his failure. So it is very important for us to fail and then go to the next level. And he's a practitioner, he's not a theorist, and he's working with a startup community in Mangalore. Very dedicated person, highly qualified, qualification in engineering, and good exposure to various challenges of startup. With a very short notice, requested him to be a speaker for this because of his passion for training and mentoring. Is accepted to be with us on behalf of all the startup here, on behalf of AIC Nitte, on behalf of Niti Aayog. I welcome you for this workshop and request you to continue. Before that, we have Sri S.S. Nayak joining us from Mangaluru. He is also a startup guru and mentored thousands of startups in his career, long career of 3 decades. For context setting, I request S.S. Nayak to say a few words of advice for all of us for this entire day of half-day workshop. Sir, over to you, S.S. Nayak. Sir, unmute ಮಾಡಿ sir, S.S. Nayak sir. Sir, you can start now.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. Is our voice?
I'm audible.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Unmute myself. You can hear me.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today is a Teachers' Day. Happy Teachers' Day to great teachers, mentors, innovators. There is a saying, great inventors and leaders are not born, they are motivated and inspired to do great things by great teachers or mentors like our Dr. AP Achar, CEO of Patel Incubation Center. Today, digital marketing guru, our Kenny Mendonca is also with you. So it is fortune of all the startups. As I already mentioned in my mentoring session on 2nd September, land, labor, capital and market. These are the 4 requisites for success of any enterprise. First, we should have market, then we should start all other things. Unless you have market, whatever you produce or whatever services you intend to sell, it will not be monetized. So that's why today, our Kenny Mendonca, we are very fortunate. Why we are fortunate? In our business tonic also, Kenny Mendonca. So digital marketing, he was the resource person. and he has mesmerized many entrepreneurs and many startups and business community at large in the Namakudla 24/7 show. Kenny Mendonça is a young and enterprising person, is a technocrat, as well as the name itself speaks. Kenny Mendonça. That means he always teaches you how how you can. He will never tell it can't. So always filled with positivity in his what you can tell presentations. So welcome to our Candy Mandonsa for today's session. Today being the I think second, third, fourth day for all the startups. I think you might have got lot of inputs for your enterprises. As I already mentioned in my last opening remarks on 2nd September, you need not have to get upset for any of the reasons. Any temporary setbacks you should overcome, and definitely if you have vision and goal, definitely you can achieve success. There is a saying in Sanskrit, Vidya Vivadaya, Ganam Padaya, Shakti Paresham Paripidanaya, Kasya Sadho Viparitanyaya. The meaning of this is Vidya Vivadaya Dhanam Madaya. That means a wicked person, he always uses knowledge for vivada, that is for argument, or he will uses his money for arrogance, money or for arrogance, and not for good. Paripidanaya, that means his power or hurting others. But sadhuhu, that means a noble person, he will always, or a virtuous person, he is opposite to this. So jnanaya, danaya cha rakshanaya, that means he uses his education for knowledge, and he uses his money or wealth for charity, or uses his strength or to protect others. So whatever knowledge gained in this mentoring session, definitely will make use of it, and definitely you can achieve whatever your goals are there. So first, as already mentioned, market is the first and foremost thing in any enterprise. If you are able to market your product,
SS Naik sir, can you hear us, sir? Naik sir, can you hear us? Okay, we'd like to continue. So, thank you, SS Naik sir, for your kind and encouraging words of advice as always. And I'd also like to thank Dr. AP Achar, CEO AIC Nitte, for giving the opening remarks. Now I request sir,
Yes, sir.
to start the workshop, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Puneet sir, for the introduction.
11:30 we'll take a break.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Presentation. Okay.
You have it here.
Yeah. See, yeah. Not open, right?
Where is it?
No.
Just,
Share the screen, I will give.
Yeah, you can use it.
So I'll be sharing the screen. So is my screen visible? Yeah. Okay. So good morning. I think it's big thankful to Nitte, AP Acha sir, and SS Naik sir for giving me this opportunity, coming here on this occasion and giving you some talks on digital marketing and roadmap methodology. So before I start, I would like to give you a small bio of what I do. So, okay. So I graduated from BTech from Manipal, from mechanical. Then I did my master's in design from National Institute of Design. So I'm basically a product architect. So later on, during my professional work from a product architect, I went into sales, basically as a sales engineer. And that's how I understood that every product that we do can't be sold. You know, there is so much things related to the design, aesthetic, which affects the pricing also. So this is how I understood, what are the things, how to design. Basically, when we do any kind of manufacturing, we have something called as design for manufacturing, right? So in marketing, we started up a concept called design for selling. So you need to make a product that can sell, not that can solve. Solving a problem is required, but it should be able to sell. So what are the frameworks that are required? See, many of the startups, they have very beautiful products, but they can't come in the market. You know, they just die in just 5 years or 2 years down the line. So what are the frameworks that are necessary? And as much I know, I've seen the profiles of the startups that are here, and I see that major startups are incubators are a service industry, and only few are manufacturing industry, right? And during this process, as I go forward with the presentation, maybe at the end of the session, you may need to go back, just have a look at the presentation, then maybe you may have to go back to a drawing board and see what is that point where I can improve. So I would, when I stress on a particular point, I would like everyone to make a note of it. So as I do the framework, so you can have a chart of the framework, so it will make you understand better. So we'll go ahead with the presentation. Okay. So the whole workshop is divided into 5 categories. So first is the foundation and the framework. So any product that you do should have a foundation and framework, even for, if you want a product to be sold. That we'll be covering in the first session, that is till 11:30 we'll be covering up. And then we will start with the roadmaps, channels, and budgeting. That is basically the tools that is required. So once you have a framework of your product ready, you understand everything, then you choose different tools. What are the different tools that are available, where you can market, how you can engage with your customer, how can you build your leads, that is how we're going to divide. That would be after the second, that would be possibly in the second session. Okay. So marketing is a key to selling your ideas in the world. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Everyone agrees? Okay. So, but this is what I thought when I was an engineer, when I started building product. But actually, it is wrong. See, great ideas in product fail because of the basic product miscalculation. It is not because of the marketing. What would be the product miscalculation? I will give you some of the examples, the very known examples that you have. Okay. So Distillery. So this is one of the product started by Distillery. This is a 500 ml bottle which sells purified water from Himalaya, and the cost of that particular bottle is 45 rupees. But this product failed miserably within a month, 1 month. No one actually went it up. The reason being, no one wants. Everyone just want a normal water. How many people would be willing to go and buy a 45 rupees water just from Himalayan? That doesn't really make sense. Even the product is unique. You have a lot of normal distilled water like from Bisleri or Kenley, but this product, the market is particularly niche market, but people are not willing to pay something like 45. So that product basically failed up. So even a brand like Bisleri can do such mistakes, because imagine doing such prototype or doing this product or bottling. Maybe you just imagine what is the amount of money that they would have invested to develop this product. But less understanding, such a big company understanding less on the product characteristics or miscalculation, it can go into such a big loss. And imagine a startups like us, a small business owners, can't actually take such kind of risk, because they have a lot of amount that is usually put out for new product. Even if it goes, it doesn't matter for them. Okay, so this is again a particular product from US. It's basically it's as a Kickstarter. Have you heard of a Kickstarter? So it's basically a website which is made in US. So basically online website where if you have a particular idea, you can put up your idea on the website and you can raise funds to build that product. So this product was launched in that way because initially a prototype was made and then was put up in a startup, in a website, and people started funding that particular product. And they raised around 120 million for a particular product. And they had, it looks very fancy, now I have this product where you can put that juice packet and just click on a phone, it generates juice for you. The product is good, the innovation is brilliant, the aesthetics, everything is good, but it could not sell. This is a third example where it's a kind of product to enhance your muscular muscles. Okay, but this product also eventually failed. And hoverboards, I think we have basically seen this. This was a top of the town and city. Everyone wanted this, but right now, if you see, no one really wants to buy it. The reason being the lithium batteries, because most of the products that came from China and aircrafts did not allow those things to be onboarded because it had the lithium ion, and which was prone to fire dangerous. And this is Tata Nano. We know what happened with Tata Nano. Company like Tata can invest so much money and then it goes to a loss. Fitbit again, some series of Fitbit actually did not work because this particular Fitbit had a different material that they basically used, which started skin irritations, and one of the customers had sued the company, so they had stopped it. Google Glass, it was a talk. Everyone wanted to mimic it in India. After that, it completely stopped. Diet Coke, a normal Coke is 45, a Diet Coke is 150. No one asked for it, but they did it. Just because we knew Coca-Cola had a high calorie, people used to, get obesity. Due to that, they started the Diet Coke, but again, the product was in a loss. So if you actually see the whole success rate, right now you have seen examples, and we are not talking about small players. These are huge players who have invested huge of money into R&D, product development, logistics, supply, everything. But such companies can actually, such product did not survive even for a year. This is just a simple example I'm giving you. There are so many of examples. There are hundreds, thousands of products every year that is coming in the market and going back. Why? Because as SSR said, as Naik sir said, not every product can be sold. You need the product. Even the product can solve a particular problem. It should have some kind of framework. It should have a particular costing. It should have some characteristics where you can place the market, right? So today, if you see the Indian startup success rate, around 90% of the Indian startup fail because of product miscalculation and innovation. That is the reason why startups are not. See, you don't have companies like Google coming up. You don't have companies like Facebook. Right now, the people from US are coming to India, settling it up. Most of the startups that you see, some successful startups, these people have worked in organizations like Facebook, Google, and they came down here and then put up the system. But before that, if you see, we're very crude. Most of the startup went into loss. So if you really think that yeah, I have a product and it can just sell, it doesn't work. So there are particular frameworks to be made. Before you do a particular product, you have to understand some characteristics. Who are your customers? How your product should be designed. So what happens, I will give you a simple example. Say for example, I being a designer, if I want to do a product, there is a lot of hard work that goes developing the product, the maneuvers that go, right? And again, selling, making it presentable, because to sell the particular product, it needs to be presentable. Again, you invest on aesthetics. Rather than that, if you just work on a particular paper, just put it everything on a particular paper as a framework, it basically reduces your time. You get a clear picture on how you can move forward, so that what happens. So when I used to design a particular product, for me it was like, oh wow, my product is really beautiful, it will sell. But when I go and present it to a client is like, I cannot take this price, this is too much, and you go into depression, and later on you get 3-4 rejection and you drop it out. You say, I don't want this product, let's work on something else. So this is where most of the startups fail. They just give up because they are doing the same mistake again and again with the miscalculation. So it doesn't matter. You are a very good technical guy. You are very good with design. You are very good with engineering. It really doesn't matter. You need to understand the fundamentals of marketing and sales. Only then you can start developing a product. It will help you to reach better, sell better. See, if you have a very good product, you need not need any marketing. It will sell automatically, right? So this framework is designed in such a way. So what is a smarter approach? So so the 4 P's of successful product. First is passion, problem, persona, potential, and payment. So any product that you do, right? Before you do any product, you need to understand, do you have this 5 P's with you? If your product doesn't have this 5 P's, then you really need to work back, go to your drawing board and check how can I put it up. These are the missing links. If you actually say you are all startups today, you have all the products, just make a chart of all these 5 and write it down. Okay, so I'm going to explain what these things are. Okay, so everyone has written down the 5 points? Yes. Okay. So I will go with the passion. You have a product. See, I being a product designer, or I design anything, I design a creative or a brochure. You should be first person who will buy it. I should be convinced first. See, when you do a particular product, imagine when Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, he did not do a product for others. He did that product for himself, for his own college mates. So when you do a particular product, doesn't matter you use it. Maybe you are using it for someone else. How many people have seen Padman from Akshay Kumar? So what did he do? He used himself. It's the same thing. See, every product that you develop, you have to first use it. Are you convinced that, say for example, you have a product and it will solve a particular problem, that, and you think it's gonna, it has a huge market. Are you being a customer, you being in a customer side, are you willing to pay that amount? Are you satisfied with the product? That is the first thing that you need to know, right? So that is basically a passion. You need to have that belongingness. You need to be your first customer. You need to convince about your product. And that is not after you do, it's basically while you write your plan, business plan, or you design your particular on a paper or a CAD. You need to be convinced. Second would be a problem. What type of problem does your product solve? Does it solve a general category or does it solve a niche? Niche is, it's a very specific, it's a, top of the cream. That is what the niche market is. See, if you have a product that solves for a general, you can mass produce. But when you are doing a niche, the product price increases, the type of marketing budget increases, because you are not targeting a normal people. You may be targeting overseas. General is where, say, for example, your product is used, you develop a product in Mangalore and it is used by a localites. That is a general base. Niche is you make a product that is used in a defense sector or a mining sector. So how many mining sector or defense sectors there are? Very few, right? So you need to understand that. Okay. Once you identify the particular problem, what type of market segment you want your product deals with, general category or niche category, that is one that you need to find out. Okay. Then is persona. Okay, then is basically a persona. Persona is, now you understood what type of audience group you belong to. Can I start? Yeah. Okay. So what type of audience group you belong to? Now in a persona, you need to understand what are your customer buying. Say for example, say you have a product of a luxury watch. Okay, you have made a watch, maybe a Fitbit watch or something like that. Who are your product customers? They are the people who are very health conscious. Okay, what would be the age? At the age of 28, 26 or 22 to 35 or more than that. You don't target younger people like 15, 18, you don't target. Okay, and people who are interested in health gadgets, who are those people who are, who are not normal guys, like who don't work for a 15,000, 20,000 salary. They're basically some of the people in an executive level who want to maintain their health. So that is basically a customer persona. So when you develop a product, let's say when you have an end product, all these things you should have. You should have all these details. What are the type of family, like what are the type of customer, what is the age group? I will tell you why this is required. Because the second part, where I'm going to explain you about channels. So all these things are required for marketing. Because if you know these things, marketing is very easy. There is nothing in marketing. It's very easy. Okay, so you need to understand, what type of user base you customers have, what type of interest they have. Okay, so once you understand like whom you have to target, so you need to make some avatars. You need to understand what type of customer base, what is the age group, what type of people would purchase my product, so that you can see where you have to target. Okay. So are we clear with the three part? That is passion, problems, and persona.
Persona is all about customer base, right?
It's all about, yes, customer base, like what type of customer, like age group, what type of age group would purchase your particular product. You need to understand, like if you have a product, say for example, I have this particular product, I need to know whom I will show it to. I can't show this. Say, for example, I have a luxury watch. Sorry, this is a health watch. I can't show it to a baby. I have to show it to someone who is health conscious. So you should know whom are my customers, where I can show my product to. I can pitch my product to, because that is what we want at the end of the day. When we have a product, we have to pitch in. But who are those customers? So we have to have that list. We need to have the type of age group, the type of locations that we want to target. Where are we targeting? Where are our customers are coming from? Who are our competitors? All these comes under customer persona. Okay. Second would be potential. What is the number of target audience? What is the maximum number of target audience that we are looking for? Say, for example, as I talked about general and niche. Okay. Similar way, say you have a product, you need to understand. In Mangalore, say for example, you are in a general category. Okay, your basic product is general, household tools or something like that. You need to understand what is the number of people who would be interested. Is it, say for example, the population in Mangalore, like you want to target Mangalore, the population in Mangalore is like say 10 to 12 lakhs, just for a figure. Are all the 12 lakhs are a part of your target customers? You need to have that number. You need to understand who are our buyers, number of buyers. Say for example, you have consultations. a job consultation. So you need to understand the metric where how many colleges are there, what is the pass out rate, how many students pass out. So you know that, okay, from this college 100 people, from this college 200 people. So you know this is a target audience. So many people, fresh employees, fresh students are coming out. So I can basically pitch in for a job consultation. So you need to know the figure, the number of people whom you can pitch in. So the potential of that customer is required. Third, and the final would be the payment. Are those customers willing to pay for your product? Because even though you have everything and the customers are not ready to pay, your product will not work. Okay, so these are the five P's that is required for every product. So when you have designed a product, when you have a particular product, you need to go back and see. See, if there is a problem with the payment, if you think that particular product is your product is much more higher price than your competitor or whoever is it. So you can see where you can reduce this or what are the changes you can make. So this basically gives you a very clear-cut idea how to go forward. Okay. So now understanding a customer cycle. So right now we know what are the 5 P's that are required for a successful product delivery. Okay. Now once we understand a particular product, now imagine you have done all the 5 points. You have noted down everything. Now you have to understand how the customer buys or how do you keep a customer. Okay. So these are some of the cycles how the customer comes. So basically a customer, you have a particular website. Once you have your product, you obviously will do a particular website. Okay. So a stranger is there. Person comes to your website. There is something called as lead where he enters a particular inquiry. Like he may just go to a website, he may see your product and the lead is created. Once lead is created, you have a prospect. Now what is prospect? So once the lead is created, we have to engage that customer. Maybe a follow-up. Prospects may be a follow-up call or follow-up email, or and say for example, a stranger comes to your website. Okay, he is interested, so he becomes a lead to you, right? Once he is a lead, he will drop in some of the details. So once he drops in, so a prospect is where you send a required email inquiry to him, or maybe SMS. So what are those tools that you can use, the free tools that you can use? I will be coming up with the next chapter that we'll be having. Then, so once you prospect, that is basically engage, send him details, he will become your customer, right? So if he's interested, if the deal goes well, he becomes your customer. Then you have something called as repeat customer. Now, what is repeat customer? We all know that in any business, a referral or a repeat customer is more potential than a new customer. Every businesses in this industry or every business in the world mainly focuses on repeat. So that is why you see Flipkart or you see Swiggy, they started with discounts, coupons, all these things. So that you are stuck, like they say in Flipkart, you have these points, they start and you can exchange it for something else. So that is how a repeat customer is made. Okay. So how this structure can be utilized for your businesses. I will give you a simple example later on. Okay. So when it comes to strangers, now I just explain how the visitor comes. So this is basically what are the platforms in which a stranger can come and to your website. What are the friend end? So the platform toolkits are basically websites and social media. So when you have a particular product, it is very much required that you have a basic website with your product as well as a social media page. So basically a stranger will come, he basically goes through your profile, right? And then you have the second stage where the lead is created. Now, these are the platform toolkits. See, right now, everyone may know how to generate a website. See, right now, if you see toolkits like what we showed here, strangers, building a website on Facebook page, we know everyone how a Facebook page is created, right? A website, a GoDaddy, a website can be created. Now, lead platform. So these are the tools, like say you can just note it down, HubSpot and talk to. See, when you have a website, to make a customer convert to a lead, you need to engage, right? And you being in a startup, you cannot always be in front of a computer and do a live chat. It's practically impossible, right? And every customer has a different way of approaching. So what these tools, these are basically the tools that I've mentioned are completely free of cost. You do not pay anything. Okay. So how many of you have used these particular tools? Yeah, HubSpot or Talk?
Yeah, I'm a beginner. I have gone through HubSpot.
HubSpot. Okay. So once you have a particular website, you can link these HubSpot and Talks to your, if you just go through, if you have a particular website and you just browse through HubSpot and Talk to, they will basically give you a detailed introduction of how to link these things to your website. So what happens when a visitor comes, it automatically collects, it shows an inquiry form where a customer can enter the detail, the email will come to. So once you get the lead, you basically send it. So most of the startup websites that I have come across, that I basically deal with, they have a beautiful website, but they say we are not getting any we're not getting any leads, because it's very difficult in a mobile. See, most of the customers or leads that come through are mobile based. 80% are mobile audiences that come, and it is very difficult to go to a different menu, because always if you see the contacts, you have to click there, go to contacts. Okay, but here what happens the moment he browses? Okay, if he browses 50%, a lead form will come. The customer, if he's interested, he will enter the detail. So you will get the detail even if you're sleeping. You need not always wait for a call. Otherwise people sometimes call at 10 o'clock, you are busy, then he will suddenly call some other website. Because usually in Google, what happens when you search for a particular product, right? He comes to a particular website. And if you don't have these particular platforms like HubSpot or Talk2, which can help you capture lead, what happens? So he will take the contact number from the website and he will call. You may be busy, right? You may be having your dinner or maybe traveling in a bike or something like that. So the person doesn't have any patience. Even I did it. I suddenly go to some other vendor, call him. The deal is done, finish. He has lost the customer there. Okay. So when you have a particular product and website, it is very much required that you use these tools. So I'm giving you these toolkits because it's completely free of cost. You need not spend any single penny. If you want to scale it up, so once you have a particular revenue out of it, then you can scale it up. And scaling it up also is very cheap. It's not that expensive. Hardly it would come to around 2,000 to 3,000 or more than that. Okay, so this is how a lead is created. Okay, then is a prospect. Now, what is prospect? Now you have leads that have come. Okay, I have come to your particular website, entered a particular lead, and a lead is created. Now, prospect is something where you need to send the details to him. Okay, so there are two ways. One is a basic methodology where whenever I get a particular lead, I can send him the details that is required. Or there are something called as automated tools. Okay, what are those automated tools? We call it as drip marketing or drip campaigns. So the more detail about drip campaigns, I will explain, because this is just an overview I'm just giving you. So drip campaigns or automations, I will explain you later. So in terms of platforms, for prospects, you can use something called as MailChimp or ClickSend. MailChimp is a particular website basically used for email marketing. Say for example, you have a particular lead, you can have different templates. Say for example, you have different products, you have n number of products. Whenever a customer inquires for something, you can just send that template to him. That is basically a MailChimp is used, because Gmail, you don't have such flexibility. You cannot make designs. MailChimp has a particular templates, very good templates where you can mail him, beautiful designs, give him a birthday wishes or something like that. You can schedule, whereas in Gmail it is not possible. So these tools are used, and MailChimp is also completely free of cost. And there is something called as ClickSend. So right now, if you actually have observed, if you go to Flipkart, enter something, you get a message, right? You get a message, or you go to any website, you get a message. So this is all ClickSend. ClickSend is basically linked to a similar lead generation platform. The moment you enter a lead, okay, the moment you enter your contact number or something like that, it is connected to ClickSend, where ClickSend will send you a particular template saying that thank you for your, or maybe in the middle of the night, you have put up a particular inquiry, okay, and no one is there, okay. So you can use these automated tools where you can send the detail to him. Even though you're calling him next day morning, it doesn't matter. So automated message can basically go telling them, no, this is your project, you can call this number or we will call you back next morning or something. So that the customer is convinced that he need not go to somewhere. See, customer will see if when I'm searching for something, if a customer replies me saying that, we will get back to you, or, this is the project details, like basic product brochures, if you can send me through a mail. So I am more than convinced. But if I'm not getting anything, obviously I will move on to a next vendor. So these are the tools. This is where the prospects come into picture. And then is a customer, that is what we are talking about, existing customers. So once the customer is converted, basically you engage messaging them. So once you have a prospect, the closing happens and he becomes your customer. And repeat customer, say once he's your particular customer, you can engage with him, sending him birthday wishes, or if you have a particular detail of his anniversary or something like that, you can always send him back. So these are the tools again used for the repeat customers. Okay. So now you know what is that required for a product. Okay. And you particularly know now what are the different tools or steps that is involved in a product launch. Okay. Or a product cycle, a customer cycle. Now you need to know how to develop a product that can sell. Okay. So at the end of the day, we all want to develop a product that wants to sell, right? We don't want to have a product that you can put it in a showcase and get an award or something like that. So these are the few things that are required in your product. Okay, these are the key component that should be present in your product. So please note it down. So first is a lead magnet. Second is something called as tripwire. For core product, profit maximizing, and affiliate. Okay, so I will go with the details. Yeah. Lead magnet, tripwire, core product, profit maximizing, and affiliate. Okay. So I'll start with something called as lead magnet. Okay, so I've taken a small case study. Okay, it's one of the startups. Anyone know about the startup? It's incubated here itself. It's an incubation center. It's into online healthcare consultation platform. Okay, so in this, so when you have a particular product, you have to divide in these steps. So what if you take a sample case study? I just took a sample case study of it. Now, what is a lead magnet? Say, for example, you are planning to start up an online healthcare consultation platform. Just imagine, it's just a new plan. Okay, I just planned of online healthcare consultation platform. If you can divide into lead magnet, tripwire, core product, profit maximizing, and affiliate, you know how your product should be designed. Say, for example, how you can sell easily. See, right now in lead magnet, what are lead magnets? Lead magnets are basically a giveaways that you basically give to promote your product. Now in this, when it comes to online healthcare consultation platform, what is a lead magnet? Weekly webinars, blogs, video blogs on health topics. Okay, it's not the core product. It's not the core product. It is the lead magnet where you attract customers. If someone wants to take healthcare consultation, what is the first thing that you need to understand? See, we just talked about customer persona. The 5 P's. 5 P's of product. So we understood the customer persona. So to capture lead, you need to understand what. Say, if you want to start a healthcare consultation, you need to know. Okay, my customer is this age. He is more interested in these kind of healthcare topics. When you have this detail, you can have this weekly webinar blogs related to that topic, so that he will start reading it. So once he reads it, he understands your brand value. So this is where the lead magnet is. You have to capture that lead there. So you need to show him some, because free webinars where he can learn about daily diet or weight loss or something like that, which is 5 minutes or 6 minutes video, nothing more than that. Second is a tripwire. So once the customer engages with your particular content, that your blogs that you've done, what he does, He puts up a lead. Basically, after 3-4 sessions of blogs and videos, he is more interested about your product. Okay. Then what he does, he puts up a lead. So once lead is, you can do a free trial, because you know a customer. See, most of your website or YouTube is connected to analytics. I think everyone know about analytics, where analytics show you that this is the type of customer who is a returning customer. So for such returning customer, you can give an offer saying that I have this particular product, which is for you 2 months or 1 month free. You use it, or I can give you 5 consultation free of cost. So that is a tripwire. So the person who is engaging with your content for last 4 to 3 months. Okay, so what you have done there, you have basically done a prospect to him. Now he converts. To convert, now a tripwire is given to convert into a customer. So he is not paying you anything, but you are allowing him to use it because he has engaged with your content. So once that is there, then comes your core product. Okay, now core product is not your, giving free trials or consultation fees. It's not like that. Okay, for you, a core product is subscription. When a customer comes, you want him to download the app and take a yearly subscription, maybe 10,000 or 15,000, or maybe a dietitian course. Okay, that is your core product. So you need to understand what is your core product. Okay, so once you have a core product, second is, the fourth comes profit maximization. Now we know that you give a free trial or 5 consultation as free, and your core product is 1 year subscription. Okay, now in profit maximizing, what you can do, you can give him, so once he has taken, maybe now you have a particular core product. Now for profit maximizing, you can sell him products that is related to health. Now he takes a subscription of 1 year on dietary course or something, dietitian or something like that, or nutrition, some course on weight loss. So you can sell products that are related to weight loss. That is profit maximizing. So you need to understand what you want to sell and how you want to increase your, this is something like side. You cannot always sell the core product. It is never gonna work. See, if you take BMW or Audi, okay, what is their core product? Can anyone tell me what is their core product of a BMW? What are the luxury cars? Core product. Core product is not a car. Core product is service. If you take a car costs 60 lakhs. The manufacturing cost of that car would be 45 lakhs. Again, the marketing cost, this will all end up to 60 lakhs. But imagine if that car goes to a service, they'll charge 1.5 lakhs. But the cost of the service would be hardly 2,000. So that is a core product. So in your particular product, or when you design a particular product for manufacturing, like, to launch, you need to understand these two things. You need to understand what is your core product, okay, the main product, and where is the profit maximization, where I can increase the maximum profit, or you can do it vice versa. It doesn't matter. Okay, you can take it. You can take a core product. Say, for example, in profit in cars like electronic cars, EV. Okay, there the core product is not car. The core, the core product is basically your energy stations. Okay, the cars, they just give it. Energy stations just will be like a fueling stations later on, and the service, because something like that. So you can design a strategy based on your particular product. And third would be, and last would be the affiliate. So once you identified the profit maximizing factor of your particular product, then is the affiliate. Now what is the affiliate? Now say, for example, in healthcare, online healthcare consultation platform, the affiliate would be basically medical centers. You partner with someone who has a similar audience, but they are non-competing in brand. If you go to McDonald's, they serve you Pepsi, right? They do not serve McDonald's cold drinks. They serve you Pepsi. Why? It's basically a brand collaboration. McDonald's and Pepsi, both are fast food. Those both are related, that's combined with the fast food. They have the similar audience. Junk, because Pepsi is not good for health. McDonald's is also not good for health. They focus on the youngsters who are more into outside food. Okay, so they have a similar audience, but they are not competing. They don't compete. Burger King will not go with McDonald's, or pizza will not go with McDonald's. See, if you actually see, pizza has a tie-up with Coca-Cola, Pizza Hut has a Coca, and your McDonald's has some tie-up with Pepsi, something like that. So that is a collaboration. So here, what you can do, you can basically gain more customer base. See, if you see Ariel, how many people have seen Ariel ad? You know what is the washing machine that they use? Have you noticed? If you actually have noticed, I want you to go back and watch once. They use Whirlpool. They use Whirlpool. It's always like that. When they use Ariel ad, there is always Whirlpool. When you have Tide, you have different. They have a similar customer base, but they are non-competing in fact. Similar way, when we are talking about taking an example of online healthcare consultation, when you being an online consultation firm, you have a particular app, you can tie up with all these medical centers. Giving like I can plan, okay, I would target all the medical centers in Bangalore. Okay, when what happens? So you can basically bring them in as a consultant or something, they get paid. Also, you can attract more customers. Customers directly going into the medical center, tomorrow they can just come to your system, and then get in touch with them. So this is where you have to target, where you need to understand who is your affiliate partner. So this is what you need to do. Say mostly in cars, if you see Audi or something like that, they use Audi doesn't have their own music system. They either go with Bose or JBL or something like that. See there is a huge customer fan for JBL, right? So the customer is introduced to both JBL as well as a BMW. So you're getting double the customer. You're not getting only 100 customer, you're getting 100 plus 100. You have that brand value of the JBL and the brand value of the BMW that comes to you. So affiliate is a very important feature in your particular product that you need to introduce. Are we okay with the case study? So I will give one more case study so that it's much better, because this is a very crucial part in any type of product development or any kind of product that you want to sell. Okay, so I'm stressing more into these case studies. So this is one more case study, again taken from your incubation cell. Okay, this is an electric vehicle innovator. Is anyone available today on the webinar? No. Okay, have you worked with them? Have you seen their particular product? Anyone? Okay, so now coming back, so again to a lead magnet. So you know that I want to start an electric vehicle. Okay, now in the lead magnet box, what is the thing I'm going to put? Free energy station around the city. You take my car, you need not pay for my electric charging station. You can anywhere, it's available. Okay, tripwire is a test drive. You can take a test drive. So usually in the car, people call you for test drive, right? If you actually have gone to Ford, I would any showroom of Ford, and when you drive their car, they have their one technique. They'll say, "Sir, you go fast, doesn't matter. Full express." They will take you to expressway, and they will make you full fifth gear, full accelerator, so that you can see the power. So the person is so excited, like, I want this car only. This is what the tripwire is. So tripwire can be a demonstration tool also. Say for example, you have a particular product. Okay, you can tell to him saying that this is a product, I'm giving it to you. You use it for 1 month. If you're not happy, give it back to me. But after 1 month, he's so used that he will take it. What happened with Google Pay or Swiggy or Flipkart? Initially, the delivery was free. Then right now the delivery is 200 rupees extra. But you are so used to it, even 300 also if you charge, you are not worried. Okay, fine, get it done. Something like that. So this is where the tripwire comes into picture. Okay. Yeah. So Jio, initially it was free. People went. So that was basically a tripwire. Okay. What was a lead magnet? Say if you take now, he has given a good example of Jio. I would tell you, can you just frame this thing? This is a kind of exercise. Now in lead magnet, say a case of Jio, what would be the lead magnet here? Lead magnet is something that is attractive. What was that was attractive? Speed. calls.
Free calls. Yeah, unlimited free calls.
See, lead magnet here in Geo was attractive because Airtel, it was very expensive one, and it was very slow. These guys were the people who started actually the actual 3G was experienced by the Geo, like 3G and 4G. So that was a lead magnet. So if you want a faster internet, come to Geo. Right? So that was a lead magnet. What was the tripwire? Free. Then everyone Airtel was 300 for the 1 GB or something. These people started free. Then they have to come down. They completely disrupted the market. That is basically a tripwire. Now if you talk about the core product, what is the core product of Geo? Can anyone? I think right now you know the news. What are the things that is happening? Geo, core product of a Geo. You can core product and maximum profit maximization. Now, what is the core product? Core product is the internet itself, the data itself. Now, profit maximization. Now, what he is doing is very smart. He tied up with WhatsApp, Kirana stores, and GeoMart. So there, he will only give subscription to those people who are a Geo-based users. So there, he will start generating profit from a GeoMart, Kirana stores, where right now, since WhatsApp, the Facebook has invested in Reliance, he would be doing WhatsApp, where you can basically order from your, just like Swiggy, where he'll be introducing GeoMart, and he'll start making profit from there. So if you want to use that particular application, you have to be a Geo user. Geo user or Geo subscriber is a core product, and then other subcategories, maybe a WhatsApp or something else would basically come up. That is where he will try to maximize his profit. You see in core business, if you see the case of Geo, in data there is no profit for it, because in India the internet is the cheapest. The cost what Geo is giving at 300 or 200, the actual cost would be shooting up more than 800 to 1000 rupees, what we are currently using. But he's giving it at a loss, just has a car, BMW that I spoke. The core product is not selling the car. The core product is the service. Similar way when it comes to Geo, what he mentioned here, the core product is basically you can take it as service, and the profit maximization, where the major of the profit comes from the service that they do. Maybe WhatsApp or Kirana stores or all those stuff that is planning up. Okay. Now affiliate. Now in affiliate, again, if you take the case of Geo, they tied up with WhatsApp. WhatsApp has a huge audience. Okay. Geo also has a huge audience, but they are not competing brands. WhatsApp has a lot of people who have downloaded, they have subscribers. Geo is also a data company, both are data company, but they are non-competing in brand. Geo doesn't have a chat feature. Geo has a business model, GeoMart, data. So WhatsApp has a communication tool. So this is where they can grab more customers, saying that the people who are introduced to Geo may be easily introduced to WhatsApp or WhatsApp new features. So WhatsApp may come tomorrow with some feature of Kirana store or something like Swiggy, where if you want this service, you have to be a Geo subscriber. There is where the affiliate comes. You get more business out of it. So in your business also, I'm just talking about a bigger brands here, but in your business also, if you just sit down and have a discussion, maybe you can come up with a lot of affiliates where you can talk to them. Say you have a particular, you have designed a particular, machinery, okay, and your customer base are farmers, okay. You can basically tie up with some other manufacturer, maybe a tractor, which are non-competing, and try to sell it out with them, or give it an add-on or something like that. See, in India, right now people are using something called as, in India they started a dash cam model. So with a car they sell a dash cam, and the dash cam is really necessary for your insurance. So customer base, people who purchase a car needs a dash cam. Okay, dash cam is selling with a car, and the insurance is also they will agree, they will give the insurance only if you have a dash cam there or the system on top. So they are getting more revenues out of that, you know, without doing much of marketing. Like it's like a cross promotion. We basically here in a common word, we can call it as a cross promotion. Like I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It's something like that. That is how, you know, when you have a particular product, you need to identify such people where you can work together. Okay, because if you work together who have the same competing, you will end up fighting one day. So you will have to have, you need to identify those brands or those businesses who are non-competing with you but have a similar audience. You know? So case study of the EV car. So say for example in the lead magnet, you can have a free charging stations. Okay, and in tripwire, basically a test drive or something you can give. Core is basically a EV vehicle here. Okay, or see, you can do a vice versa. You can either give him a EV vehicle, or see, everyone, either though you have a charging station, everyone needs a home energy thing. So there you can basically charge in. Maybe a station can be charged, or you can charge in as per the, you know, you can start generating revenue from there. Okay, then what will the profit maximizers? Home charging station, accessories, service, customization. Okay, affiliate will be partnering with Bond like Bose for sound system, MRF for tires or something like that. So you can find these, yeah, something like that. So you can tie up with Excite batteries or something like that, where they will supply you. And basically it's like a cross promotion. When you talk about Excite, you know, okay, Excite gives batteries to this particular Evonik innovations. Okay, you know, Evonik purchases from Excite. So you have people come to know about two brands. Okay. So today also, see, when we talk about JBL, what is the first thing? Oh, they use it in BMW. Okay, when we talk about BMW, you know, they use the best sound system. So you're basically talking about two other brands, even though I'm not connected to it. I am a buyer of I do not know about JBL at all. Imagine you go to buy a luxury car. I'm just giving an example of why this this affiliate is very important. Is because, say for example, you go to buy a luxury car, you have no clue of a JBL system. Okay, so you get introduced to JBL. So JBL system is one of the best. So free marketing, right? You know, something like that. So when you talk about a particular product, sir, our machine is being used by DRDO. Great, free marketing again. So you are basically, see, when I used to do when we used to do a particular product, we used to struggle a lot to get an orders from government. So we had one order from National Chemical Laboratories. So once we got an order from National Chemical Laboratories for product development, then we used to take the names and go and try to get as many clients as possible. We went to HAL, NASA, then DRDO. So it's much easier, you know, and they also start talking about you. So this is how an affiliate is really required in your brand. So it's 11. So I just wanted to. Okay, so there is 3 slides. I'll just finish off. Then we will go with the channels. It's just a simple one. Okay. So what are the digital strategy frameworks? So since right now you know about what are the things that you require for a product, what are the type of customers, how do you divide your services like lead magnet, like in terms of a particular product, what are the things that should be there in a particular product, core product, profit maximizer, affiliate. You have everything right now. Just whatever you have written, just go back, sit with the paper and write down things. So you have that complete map. Then start, once you have all the data that you have written down, then start with something called as digital strategy framework. Now, what is the first step in digital strategy framework? You need, these frameworks are required to improve your sales. This is mainly into selling a product now. You have passed the phase of developing a product. You have all the details that is required to develop a product. Okay, you have done all the necessary changes. Now you are ready to go to the market. Now, what are the steps or the frameworks that you need to discuss or decide during? So this is the stage. Okay, that is basically launching stage. Basically, you want to market it out. Okay, so first is a digital mission. So when you start with any kind of marketing, possibly when I'm completely referring about digital marketing, you need to understand, what is your total goal during the start. Do you want to do 100 leads per month, increase the brand awareness, generate revenues? So you need to note it down. You need to note it down. What are the things that you want to do? That is basically a digital mission. Okay. Second would be a digital strategy. Digital strategy is again where your customer base are. So once you know the budget, say for example, you say that, okay, I want 5 machines. Say for example, you are a developer of a machine or some pharmaceutical or machinery. So you say that I want 5 machines to be sold. Okay. And I want to generate a revenue of 10 lakhs. Okay. So you have noted down all those things. You are very clear. Now in digital strategy, since you know that you are very fixed that I want 10 lakhs business this month. Okay. In digital strategy, you can put up like, what are the platforms I can invest? I can go. So you see, initially you know about, right now at this stage, you know about who your customers are, where your customers are, what type of habits your customers do have. Like, you know about more about customer. So you can decide whether to go with Facebook advertisements. You can decide a platform. Like, do you want to go with newspaper ads, SMS ad, radio ads, something like that. So this stage is where you need to jot it down where actually you want to go forward. Do you want? Yeah, set a route. So this is where digital strategy comes into picture. Second is interactive strategy. Interactive strategy is where, what are the tools you use to engage? Right now, okay, I want to go with Facebook. I want to do a website. Okay, I want to go with Instagram, LinkedIn, all those stuff. Okay. Now in interaction, you need to understand what are the tools I need to interact. Is normal calling is more than enough, or I want to use automated tools? I want to put up an email template. So these you need to understand. Like, see, there are many times there are many products where you need not, you cannot expect a customer to reply to your mail. So it doesn't. You spending a lot of time, working on an email template doesn't make a sense. So you need to identify those things where you can interact, how your customers you can interact. Like, you want to spend more time in SMS marketing, SMS ads or something like that. So this is where interactive strategy comes into picture. And then once this is done, you have something called as measure and improve. So once you start up this process of interactive strategy and starting with the ads and other things, you have an options where analytics, where you can basically cross-check your ROI, like what is the amount that you have spent. Say in digital missions, you said that initially I will be spending around, I need around 10 lakhs revenue. Then in digital strategy, you put up saying that, okay, I'm going to spend 10,000 every month. Okay. Say then once you have finalized the budget in a digital strategy, then you go with the measure and improvements, where you basically can check for 10,000, what is the revenue I have generated. So you can use tools like Google Analytics or Facebook Insights to understand, how is your investment working here? Am I getting any business, or I'm just dumping out the money? So this is a digital strategy framework that is required for most of the businesses. Okay, so now, so from this digital strategy framework, we will further dive deep into branding roadmaps. This is all a part of the digital strategy framework itself. Okay, this is basically a route map that I'm showing. Okay, what are the processes that, and these things, what I'm showing about digital strategy, interactive strategy, these are not constant. You can change it quarterly, you can change it yearly. This is not constant. So that is why I have made a framework where it is not standard. Say for example, digital missions, say for example, create 100 leads. It is not only for 1 month, or tomorrow if you want more leads, you can do more leads. So based on the digital mission, all the things should change. Everything should be. That is where the tracking happens. So branding roadmaps. Okay. So when it comes to see, this is a basic. Okay. So this is a basic roadmap. I want you to write it down, because this is very crucial, and you need to understand the importance of each stages. Okay, so when we talk about in first comes the channel. So when you have a particular product, you go through all these processes to be a successful business, or you if you want a successful sales. So what is the first step? That is reach and attract. So once you have a product ready, from whatever we learned, you need to reach your customers, right? Second would be engaging with the customers. Once you reach, you need to engage. Third is capture that particular lead, then nurture that particular lead, convert, yeah, keep, and grow. So this keep is basically what I mentioned, prospect, is engaging with the customer. Like once you have the lead is with you, you can basically send him a mail or birthday wishes or something like that. Growing is basically increasing, basically a referral network. So this is the basic channel. So in the whole process of reach to grow, it is divided into three sectors. The first, reach and attract and engage, is into channels. So how do you make, how do you target, or how do you achieve that? That is basically a channels. What are the channels? Facebook, Instagram, Google AdWords, LinkedIn, Google Plus, email. These are the particular channels. So just by using channels, you cannot close deals. You can only see, that is why I have done this, because just if you are good with Facebook, you have excellent creativity, you have good with email marketing, will not bring you sales at all. Okay, so lead management is really important. Now in real lead management, you can see what are the things that come under lead management: capture, nurture, convert, and keep. Social media cannot do any of those things. Social media cannot nurture your lead, cannot convert, cannot keep. It can only engage. You have a particular product, it will show 100 times if you want. You have a particular information, it will show, but it cannot capture. So a lead management is really required. Most, and then would be basically a grow, which is a combination of a channel and a lead management. See, right now, if you see, I talked about 90% of the startups fail. Why? Because they only go with the channels. The lead management and the combination is completely neglected. People think, I have a product, I will do a website, I will do a social media page, it should sell. Why can't it sell? It doesn't sell because you are not doing the, also if you actually see the particular, it's almost 80%. 80% you are not doing, you're just doing 20% of it. So 80%, how can you get a result, or how can you improve your sales if you're not doing the right part? This is the major loopholes that whenever I go and talk to even most of the entrepreneurs or lecturers, or I do a lot of workshops. During workshops, I always tell lead management is a very crucial when it comes to selling of your particular product.
So can you from the capture give a pointer again?
Which one?
Capture, convert.
See, that I have detailed. Okay. See in capture, see reach and attract. See in channels, when we talk about reach and attract, so you have a particular product. Okay. Now, how do you reach? Social media, website. Those are the particular platform where people you can reach. You can send a link to someone. Please go to my website, go to my product. That is a reach. What is engage? Social media. You have a particular page. You basically put post. You send a WhatsApp. That is basically engaging tools. Now, what is capture? Just by doing that, you cannot get. Now, in capture, I just discussed about HubSpot, leads. When I discussed about lead, you have to capture that lead. So that is basically a capturing happens. So once you basically engage maybe blogs or something like that. So once it goes through a particular website or engages, you need to capture. So to capture, you need these you need lead capture units, like maybe Talk or HubSpot. You need to introduce, okay, with your website. Okay. Second is the nature. So nature is where you, once you have a particular lead, you need to engage with it. See, if you call me today and say that, and so you have a product to sell me, and I think I don't need it now. You're not going to go back. You need to call me again and again. That is basically a physical way. But if I'm not available, you need to nurture it, right? There is a difference between bombarding with calls, sir, you want it, sir, you want it, you get annoyed. But nurturing is where, in a very mild way, you get, once you get the lead, you get all the information. You get the birthday, you get the things, you know where he stays. So lead nurturing is where you can send a nice email, happy birthday, or you can send him a new product. So we are moving, or we have a new product, have a look. So that is where you basically engage with the customer and give him information. So today or tomorrow he will go and buy. See, I will give you a simple example of I used to shop on Amazon. Okay, so due to some bad, I had some bad experience with them, so I just particularly stopped it, and I used to go with Flipkart. After that, after 1 month, I used to there was my birthday, I think after 1.5 months or 2 months, they always used to, happy birthday, can we wish you from Amazon? I was like, okay, fine, let's buy from Amazon again, something like that. So that is what lead nurturing is basically means. Where when you have a customer, you have to nurture that particular lead. Now in most of the business or most of the startups, I know it's very difficult to focus with nature, because you need to be in constant touch with the customer, engage. You need to have a content calendar. That is very difficult. So all these works can be actually automated with a lesser cost, okay, or no cost at all if you have a very limited users. So that is where nurturing works. Then is convert. So once you nurture or engage with the customer, he may have not bought your product. You have captured that particular customer. Okay, he has interacted. You have the lead, but he has not converted. So you have to nurture and then convert. Once you have to convert it, you have to keep that customer. Now you don't want a product to be sold once. Now that consumer should buy more. So you need to keep. How do you keep? Basically informing about the new products. So maybe he has bought a new product. See, there are many customers, I think, even in the bikes, when we have a new phone, we get email saying that a new phone is launched. What is the price? Let's do you have an exchange offer? Okay, you give the old phone, buy a new phone for 3,000. Something like that. So that is where keeping happens, where you basically update on a particular product to him so that he can buy back. Even though if he's not buying back, you can give him information, you can give him something like that, a free webinar or free tool, something like that, so that the customer will not leave you and go. Then again, growing, you can always ask for a referral. You can, from, say for example, you have, I think you know about network marketing, something like that. That is how you basically grow your particular channels. Okay. So these things are really important. See, when it comes to reach and attract and engage, you can use n number of tools, and that is not constant. Today it will be Facebook, tomorrow it will be something else. Okay, but nature, capture, nature, convert, keep is gonna be same. It will never change, because we saw when I was in a university college, we had Orkut. Now, Orkut is not there. What about all those friends? I don't even remember now, right? So we had Google Plus. There were so many. LinkedIn I don't use. So many things. People change. The trends change. So reach and attract or engage. You may need to change now and then, but other things remain same. Okay. So we will start with the channels later. See, that's what, because see, now you have a broad idea of how these roadmaps are. So each roadmaps I'll be talking in detail, where I'll be discussing starting with the channels, where we have different channels of marketing the product. What are the different channels? What are the different tools? So that you can work on. And I will be sharing some of the tools also, so that it will be more helpful for you. Because see, I understand when it comes to startup, you work in a very tight budget. You can't spend at all. But there are tools that are freely available. It's basically, as I said, the what is it? The lead magnet. So right now these softwares like in these channels, there are softwares like Facebook, MailChimp, HubSpot, basically which can be used as a channel, give you as a freebies. Like you can use it for a limited user. For a startups, obviously you will not have more than 3,000, 4,000 customers. Hardly in a day, 5 customers may engage or 2 customers may inquire. So for such customers, you basically have these tools that are freely available. So you can always use it. So once you get a particular revenue, once you get a hang of it, then you can start off. Okay. So I think we'll take a break. Okay. So till now, so whatever we have done, you have any kind of doubt? If you have a particular doubt, you please let me know. I can clarify it. You have any doubt or anything that clear with the concepts? No. So what I would suggest that, see, when it comes to today, the topic was basically branding and digital marketing. I can give 1 hour, more than 1 hour talks on detailed social media, content planning, landing page, everything, but it will not help you. Since if it would be a college students, I would basically go with them because it just for them it's just a part of certificate. For you, it is not. And I, being a product designer, I myself know when you dump your particular product in a dustbin, the pain is very difficult. Because even though, see, for you, always your baby is the best, no matter whatever people tell. The amount of hard work, the ideation, the fights that go within your co-partner to launch that particular product, it is intense. Okay, so I have myself in my own career where I have felt that I should have worked on a paper rather than, because see, once you do a particular project, see, when we were young, when I graduated, I had that intention. I was mainly into 3D printing. Have you anyone seen 3D printing, heard about 3D printing technologies? So I was a product designer, and we were the first in India when around 2013 when we developed the first 3D printing machine in Manipal. We also were a startup incubated in Mutbi, that is Manipal Incubation Center. And Mohandas Pai and Ranjan sir had invested in our company. Not much, around 12 lakhs they had invested for initial prototyping. So we started on the project. We were very good. We were very strong with the design. We were very good with the technical. We knew everything, but we never understood the factor that the calculations, miscalculations. Okay, we never understood whether the product can be sold because there were so many competitors. We could only sell to a student. Our focus was student, but how much can a student pay? Can't pay much, right? And the amount of work that we used to put on design, the amount of it's gonna go. And when you sell, you need to do a service. If you don't have a proper product, the money that you earn from profit goes to the service. The only thing that we were student, we used to take money from parents for some fees and we used to spend there. That is a separate thing. But when you actually go into serious, but we struggled a lot when we actually graduated out. So we had a three years graduation. So after 3 years, we used to go out of they basically don't give you a space there. You have to take up a separate office. So we moved to Bangalore. Then we entered into market. We were like, oh my God, this is very difficult. But still we survived. It's still there. But we think that if we had planned, on apart from the marketing, like initially if would have planned on the structure or framework, then it would be much easier and we could have grown much better. So it gives you a very clear direction. So that is why I started with a framework, so that I want you all to go back and fill up. I think the presentation also will be shared with you. Just see, can you fill up those blocks from your side? So you will get a clear idea, where can I correct it? In your current product that you have, is there something that I can change? That gives you a much better idea. And apart from that, the channels are much easier. Okay, I will be giving you all the tools, and I'll give you my numbers also. If you have any problem with the channels related to social media, content, landing page, Google, you can just WhatsApp me. I'll give you all the details that is required. I have the product brochures and the web links also, where you can self-learn, because all these are self-learning. Okay, but frameworks, and you will get everything. If you talk about how to start an ad in Facebook, you type Google, you will get it. But no one will teach you about frameworks. That is only a person who has actually failed with numerous number of products, who knows how to develop a product. So that is the only reason why I started with I was happy with mechanical engineering, but I wanted to do M design to understand what are the things? How do you select a material? How do you do the costing? That basically gave me a better insight on the particular product. So we'll stop a session for now, and we will join after 15 minutes on the channel. You
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel.
May you
We'll,
mod the session?
then we'll continue.
Yeah. Hi, Punisa. We will take a 5-10 minutes break.
Then we can take a
Sorry?
10 minutes break, and then we can continue.
Yeah, sure. Right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I will try that.
Thank you everyone for joining back. Mr. Kenny Mendoza, we can start whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Can you have to unmute? Can you have to unmute?
Just give me 5 minutes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, just give me 5 minutes. I'll just have a normal introduction with them, and I will continue with the session in some time. Or we'll have it later. Okay, so I will continue the session now. Puneet sir? Puneet sir, can you hear me?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So let's stop here. So we stopped with the marketing and branding roadmap. Okay, we started with the marketing and branding roadmap. So right now, so it's been divided into channels, lead management, and a combination of channels and the lead management. So starting with the channels. So what are the channels that you have where you can use promotions, where you can promote your particular product? So the center of the core is a website, because when you talk about digital branding or anything, you need a website. Okay, and the website is linked to all these other things, that is email, Google AdWords, landing page, content platform, and social media. This is the anatomy of a digital marketing channel. Okay, if you want to use your digital marketing, if you have done all the hierarchy process right, you have the product ready, you want to start with digital marketing, this is the complete uh, channel layout that you need to be aware of. So we will start one by one. We'll start with the main, that is website. So initially during the startups, what I had felt that many startups, they don't have much technical skills to do a website. They think doing a website is a very difficult task. Okay, and I being in a startup and myself, so I have seen a lot of difficulties in coding. So there are a lot of websites like GoDaddy, Wix, where within 5 to 15, 20 minutes, you can just load a very beautiful templates and do a website, you know. So at the initial, without less coding knowledge, just by playing around with the images and content, you can do a website that is, much cheaper as the initial start if you want to start. Because most of the seminars that when I attend, they basically say that, sir, website cost is like 15,000. I cannot pay that much, because whenever people talk about website, newbie, like not a smart generation, basically go to an ad agency or a website builder. Obviously, he will not do the website in 5-6,000. He would basically charge a minimum of 20-25. So that is again an overhead. So such things, basic website, if you are looking just to launch your basic website, can be easily done by GoDaddy or Wix. Okay. So when you make a website, if you go to many of the website, you see it very pale. Okay. If you want a website that can generate revenue, that can generate leads, these are the few checklists that should be available in your websites. Okay. So I want you to note down these checklists, and whenever you have a website that is you're making, you make sure at least 60% of these checklists are being added. Okay, the first would be optimizing for your local searches. So when you do a particular website, local, what that basically means. So when you have a particular website, you basically have to write a content. That content, say for example, you have a has said he's into laundry, and he serves areas like Bangalore or Mangalore, or only say for example Nitte area. So he can place like best laundry in around Mangalore, or best laundry in the target area. So those types of content has to be added. So you have to optimize your particular website to a local search. So when anyone saw laundries in Nitte or laundry near me, so automatically his website will be popped up, because he has that content available. So if we just put up a laundry and just write, okay, laundry service, that, this and all, it will not be picked up by a local search. So you have to add content that where you feel that, I can basically target a local people. Okay. Second is make your website a mobile friendly. So if you actually see the total analytics today, okay, if you have a website, obviously you will have to link the website to a Google Analytics. It's an analytics tool which gives you a data of your website. If you actually go and see, 80% of the audience or the traffic that comes is through mobile. So you cannot make a website for your laptop. You have to first do, because long back, like 10 years back, it was first system, first laptop, and then the mobile. Now it is reverse. First is the mobile and then is the website. So you have to make a mobile website friendly. Now, the why I'm recommending Google, GoDaddy, and Wix. See, initially in the startups, I'll tell you this is one of the biggest mistakes that every startup will do. Almost in 100%, if you can say, 85 to 90% do that mistake. They go with the WordPress. Okay, or they go with the high-end websites. Like they have, okay, you having the confidence of your product is really good. I appreciate it, but not the WordPress. Because what happens in WordPress, you will not get a mobile friendly, but you need to work on it. And you cannot do it. You need someone coder. It will easily cost you 45, 50, and maintaining it is difficult. But websites like GoDaddy or websites like Wix comes with a preloaded templates. Preloaded. You have to just put the content, put the images, that's it. Your mobile, it will only configure itself. So it is much easier. So you can spend less time with your work and start it off. Okay. So second would be the website speed. Okay, because you don't want people coming to your website and running back, waiting for a loading. So you have to make sure that you have very less images, high resolution images are avoided. If you want to add videos, you can add it in YouTube and give a backlinks. So in that way, you can increase your website speed. Okay. See, website speed initially, when you have a very few users, doesn't matter. See, many people think that that if I go with GoDaddy or Wix website, lot of people suddenly just after you launch, you don't get 10,000, 20,000 visitors suddenly. Everything starts from 5, 10, 20. It starts to go. If you feel that a website traffic is increasing day by day or month by month, then you can basically increase. Otherwise, there is no point in spending too much, because this is where most of the business startups fail. There was one of our client. He wanted to do a clothing store. I will just give you an example. So he wanted to do a clothing store which could mimic Myntra, and he was focusing more on a Mangalore market. And he was like, I want a website exactly like Myntra. He's focusing on Mangalore market. Doing a website like Myntra would cost 4.5 lakhs. And who is going to manage it? Because the coding is completely different. The programmer will charge, anyway, even one correction will charge 15,000. So something else. Don't go by the fame and thing. You need to understand what is necessary. Only those things you need to add. So for that, I had put up this checklist, because this is a basic common problem I come across. Common problem I come across every startup, and where they spend unnecessary, unutilized money. So if you have this, go by this rule, I think you can do much better with a very limited budgets. Then live chat integration. I said, when you have a website, it is very much necessary to have a live chat integration, because if you're online, there is a lot of difference. A customer putting a lead and you doing a chat. Okay. So you can basically customize it as per the customer's requirement. You can talk very nicely. So a live chat integration is required. Introductory videos, social media integration. Say, for example, it comes to a website, you can go to different pages of your, okay. Then you have lead capture form, FAQs. Lead capture forms, like, see, when you have a particular product, you need to introduce your particular product. So you can have a basic shot of you or your customer talking about your product. So people need not read. See, there is always a saying. The information that can deliver 1 second, 1 minute video that can deliver is equivalent to reading, going through a lot of content. So if you have a particular product where you think people reading it is very difficult. You can make a short introductory video just by maybe a animating video. Okay, so they can understand is much better. So such things because there are so many tools like Doodly, free tools where you can really create an animation video. So those are introductory video about your service, because people don't usually read have that. Because see, a person who comes to the website, he's hardly there for not more than 30-40 seconds. He just one minute max, 1 minute. So he is not in the position to read all your content. But if there is a video, he may get engaged and he may at least get some content up. So that is why an introductory video is required for such most of the
Video is made in focus of the product.
in focus of the product. Yeah, only in focus of the product.
Okay.
Then you have add a lead capture form. That's why I talked about HubSpot. Okay, so you need to have both live chats. So when you are not online, you can use these lead capture forms to capture leads in the offline process. Because you being in a startups, you have to engage a lot with the customers, go out with the work. So you tend to be outdoors a lot of time, and you cannot engage. You cannot expect any other people also to talk and engage with the customer as much as you can do. So you can use these tools to make sure that you don't lose a customer. That's what live chat integration is there. You can have an option of a chatbot tool. That I will be coming back on that. Okay. Then FAQs about your particular product, okay, which is really essential. When you have a particular product, instead of a customer asking you some of the questions, if you can put up a questions, because you come across a lot of queries, so you can just put that basic queries and put it in the website, so the customer knows what it is. So before he calls, he knows he has already got that information. So you can be sure. See what happens in most of the lead generation platform. You just don't. There are many businesses where they get very minimal information. Why? So that a customer can call. If I put all the information, they have the thinking that the customer will not call only. So I will keep it very mystery so that customer will call. But actually, doing that is actually damaging the whole business. You know why? Because what happens when a customer calls, you lose lot of focus behind that customer who may not be interested customer only. But if you put an FAQ or FAQs, he knows about your product. He knows what, and when he calls, he is the most filtered call. Like imagine, like he will not call you randomly. He knows he has gone through all the information, and he will call only when he's a prospect. So you can spend less energy behind him and close much better. So FAQs is required. Feedback section can be testimonials, or like you have a particular service given. Try to have many testimonials in your particular website. Okay. Section for events and updates are basically what I'm talking about, blogging. So I told about initially during the process that prospects and grow. You need to have, once a customer is in your website, you need to prospect, you need to give him information, free content, so that basically that events and updates are there, so that you engage with the customer and update on new product launch. Okay. Again, targeting search keywords, as I said, if he's looking for a laundry in Mangalore, so such keywords should be presently available in your website. Choosing a domain name, which is really essential. .com is, you have .com, .in, .org. So based on your particular business, you have to focus whether it's in or .com. Okay. So some of the businesses say if you have a very long goal, like you want to really expand, .com is really necessary. So when you are doing with the .com, you have to make sure you name a business which already has a .com. See, many businesses, what they do, that I'm talking about my case, please. People have their logo done, they have brand name, then they don't have .com. Then they settle for .in. Then they are at least not happy at all. They're saying, I don't need .in, what to do? I can't explain. So instead of that, if you understand like what you can make a random words, and you can check in the Google or GoDaddy whether the .com is available. Then you can rebrand your particular name and then set it up. Such kind of initial work you can usually do it. Okay. And again, website has to be connected to Google Analytics, because if you don't do that, you basically don't understand what's going up and behind. How many customers, how many returning customers I have. So that gives you a basic insight about your website. Okay, so now we come about emails. So we know about, see, when it comes to email is very straightforward. So there's nothing much. I think everyone does email every day, right? We have a particular email ID, we send it to a customer. So in email, I specifically recommend, if you're using an email, I specifically recommend something called as drip campaign. You know what is drip irrigation? What is drip irrigation? Water, little by little, right? Similarly, when it comes to campaigns, email campaigns, you have something called as drip campaigns. Drip campaigns are basically automations. Say, so you see the particular chart. So it works trigger, condition, action. Say, for example, a customer has engaged with your website. Okay, engage with your website, and there are many times that you are busy, you are not possible to call him, because you will only call when a customer is like, I want that product. But if a customer says, I want a product after 3 months, you may forget. So these drip campaigns are where you can nurture a lead automatically. So you can create flows. So I will be explaining, I will be showing you some of the tools that is basically used. This again, so whatever tools I am explaining, it's completely free of cost. You can start it off immediately once you know how to go ahead. You can just start it off and get things done. So these drip campaigns are basically used to activate inactive users. What are the inactive users? Users who were active, but they dropped in between, like they are not interested now. Okay, so you can use these drip campaigns, that is email campaigns, to activate in the sense, remind of their particular purchase. See, imagine right now you go to Flipkart, you order something, and suddenly after 1 week you get a email saying that you could not complete, like you forgot your order, something like that. So this is how a drip campaign works. Okay, so companies like Flipkart, Amazon works us very aggressively on this, because they are basically FMCG products that they are focusing. But you also can work in a different sequence. You need not do it every week, maybe with 2 months or 3 months, because it depends on your conversion ratio. See, every sales, every product has a conversion. You may have a conversion cycle of 3 months or 1 year. Another business may have conversion cycle of 1 day, or some other 1 year. So based on that, based on your conversion cycle, you can design these drip campaigns. So for this, MailChimp is really better, where you can directly link this MailChimp to your particular website, and you can give a particular sequence. Like first email, whenever first particular puts up a particular lead, it shows a basic product brochure. Okay, then again, if the customer after 1 month or after 15 days, you can send another email to him about the purchase or about the update. So in this way, you can basically engage. So this is mainly focused on email marketing basis. Third is a Google Ads. How many of you have tried Google Ads? What type of ads you guys have tried?
It is we need to put in few words.
That is search.
Yeah, and we get a mail from them. Postal mail.
That is not Google Ads. That is Google My Business page.
Yeah, it is there and added to this. I gone to this and then I redirected to that.
See, there is a where say for example, you have a particular, see in Google, you have something called as Google Business page, where you can set up your page, you can add your photos and other things. Google Ads is where you see, if you actually looking for a hardcore digital, hardcore marketing, hardcore lead generation or brand awareness, this is a tool. Facebook is a tool, but it is only to reach and engage. You don't get potential as much customer. The potential customers are in the Google AdWords. So I have taken this particular course more detailed to explain what are the different types of Google ads that are available, and how and what, based on your business, what kind of approach you can go. Okay. See, when it comes to Google ads, there are basically 3 types. Majorly, there are 3 types. One is a search network, display network, search network, and display network that is incorporated. See, when it comes to search network is basically a keyword type. Say, for example, if I'm searching for, since I am into real estate, I basically type flats in Mangalore. So if I am active in search, it only triggers that particular search, nothing else. If when a customer searches, say in every business, say for example, now consultations, basically, job offer or job requirement. That is basically a keyword. Such things can be used as a search network. Display network is where you create a nice small ad and you put it on the other websites, like you go to the IG or you go to any website, you see a particular creative image. So those are basically display advertisements. There are some businesses where you may need to add both. Like in real estate, we cannot only go with display network. We cannot only go with search. We have to combine both and budget accordingly. Okay. And the last would be search network, that is remarketing. So remarketing is where you have spent maybe 1,000 rupees on these particular ads and people have come to you. Now they have just gone back. There is no way you can reach. They have not entered your lead. They have not engaged in nothing. They have just come and bounced back. Now, how do you reach it? So you have something called as remarketing. I think everyone have experienced where you go to Myntra, you buy something, you go to other website, you see the ad following you again and again. So that is basically a remarketing. It always reminds that you have kept something pending and you have gone to the website and it always show you. So brand awareness is created. So here what happens, if you go to Myntra, okay, and maybe you choose Flipkart, okay, in Myntra you may have spent 5 minutes and Flipkart 20 minutes, and you go to any other website, you will be only bombarded with Myntra. You may be interested in Flipkart, but the bombardment of that ads will make sure that you go back to Myntra and buy it. That is where the remarketing is used. Now, again, this Google Ads, what I'm talking, is one of the ad platform which is expensive, okay, but it has a very high potential of lead generation and business closing. Here, most of these startups do a lot of blunder and call me up saying that, sir, I spend 20,000 on Google Ads every month. I don't get anything. It's going for waste. So I basically ask them what kind of business you are into. So they just randomly say that I'm into a clothing industry. I put into search ad, because search network is an extremely costliest ad because it goes by the search. So for every keyword you are paying. Say for example, you are into laundry, okay, and in your laundry business there are a lot of keywords: ironing, something like that. Okay, so every keyword is chargeable. Display is not like that. Display is not chargeable for each creatives. You put a budget, it will just bombard into all the websites that are available as an ad space. But in keywords, it is expensive. So most of the businesses, like laundry business, they spend a lot of money in search and lose a lot of money, and they don't get anything out of it. So I have created a workflow where that, and also an example where you can identify. This is just an example that I have, so that you can identify for my business which of this ad platform I can use. Okay, because this is Google ad platform is something that once you burn your finger, you don't put your hands into it. You have that bad mindset. It's all lost, man. They will simply eat money, nothing else to do. Then you don't go. There are so many customers and so many clients. When I say Google Ads, I don't want. Straightforward. I don't want. I burned my finger. They simply lost. 1 month the billing happens 60,000, then I not required. It's all fake. Nothing happens. But the major business comes from there. But only that they don't identify which platform they have to choose, how they have to do the budgeting on each platform. So this is a basic example. So you have a job consultancy, okay, food industry and education. So something like a job consultancy can be easily gone for a search network. Can you tell me why? Why can't a job? You understand what is search and display? Search is keyword, specific keyword. Display is a normal creative. It is not particular to a keyword. It just goes randomly. So why is job consultancy cannot be given as a display? Why it is only search? Yeah, but why don't you think, like, say I have a job consultancy, I may tell why don't I spend a little bit money in display? Why it is not advisable? Yeah, see what happens when you talk about job consultancy. Now maybe you are a end user, like you are a customer. It's my job consultancy. Okay, what are the keywords? How do you basically search for jobs? So basically keywords, right? You don't go in the website and you basically see an ad or a job opportunity in some company and click and go. right? You basically click, you go to Naukri or you go to monster.com, you basically type, okay, you are marketing jobs in Mangalore, marketing jobs. So see, if you see in a business, your total of the consumer, that is why understanding customer persona is very difficult, important. Because if you have that, you can directly tell, okay, this is where I go. Because you know how the customer comes to you. That is why the initial when I started, I made you understand what is customer, why it is very important to understand the customer persona, because that gives you in complete detail. If you know that 80% of your customer are searching, like they're searching like jobs in Mangalore, or mechanical engineering jobs in Mangalore, sales jobs in Mangalore, you know, when I'm starting a marketing campaign, I will go with search. Display is not required. So you can budget accordingly. You need not spend extra, because say if you spend 200 rupees on search, you need not spend display. You can spend it, but it is of no use. Instead of that, you can spend more if you're getting better returns. Okay, but now in food industry, why don't you think it cannot go with search?
That's just with the keywords. And then they look for the
Images, yeah. So right now when we search for food, we don't search like chicken biryani in Mangalore, no? We don't search. If we basically go with recipes, best recipes, the moment you go to best recipes, you go to any other website, you see a ad of a food, bon masala or something like that. So yeah, if a person is looking for something like that, he gets a display advertisements. So that is how you can basically, you're getting what I'm trying to tell. So search is where your audience is particular about a particular search. You want to directly go to him. Whereas in display, you directly don't want to. He is not sure of what he wants. He is like, see, in search, the end user is sure. You want to directly reach to him. He is searching for jobs in Mangalore. Okay, and you are a job, you directly want to reach him. He doesn't want, you do not want to reach him where he is like engineering colleges in Mangalore and you want to reach him. It's not going to work. Okay, so display marketing works where your customer is interested in a subdomain of yours. You are a food industry, okay, and the search is for recipe. He is not searching directly for bon masala. He is searching for recipes in Mangalore, Mangalorean recipe. So when he goes to the website, he sees a bon ad. Okay. Similarly, right now you have your education tools. If someone is searching for management, education management systems, you can use either search or display or a combination of both. Just how I'm gonna start with a. That's what I put up in education, both search and display. Okay, this works where customer is looking for, say for example, a mechanical engineering college course in NEET, GE course, or maybe school management systems, something like that. So we know that the person may be interested in the keyword also, he may be interested in the normal search also. So you can go with search and display both, something like that. So these are particularly different platforms. So when you go to this Google AdWords, so maybe in upcoming sessions if possible, so I will be going in depth, because see, these sessions usually take a lot of time because there's so much things to be explained. So I'm just giving you an overview, and see these information, if you just go search marketing or display marketing, you get all the details.
And moreover, if we display and for the food and example, you get to their physical
Experience, yeah.
That is why display.
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
And that is the virtual.
Yeah,
So
right.
that's the search.
There, what happens in search, you have to go to the website. Here, that's what I said. You don't have a specific requirement. You just want to cross sell something. Say, for example, if I say, how I can tell. Say, for example, if you are looking for a mobile phones in Mangalore, or mobile phones, cheapest mobile phones. Now, cheapest, so there is no specific, no, any brand will do. So if you are a mobile phone manufacturer, you can show your ad, but if you show cheapest phone, you cannot show your search ad. It doesn't happen. He may not go to the website. So based on that, when your customer, see, when you understand your customer persona, if you identify that your customer, when he searches for your business, he is not specific, then you can go with display. If he is specific, then you can go with search. If he is both, then you can go with search and market display. Now, when it comes to real estate, okay, when people see, there are two types of people search. One, people search like flats in Mangalore. You cannot show him grocery ad. It doesn't, my things are gonna go. I cannot target him. So I have to go with search ads. So he sees, he comes to my website and he goes to any other website. That time he sees the display ads. So for me, both works. Search, I can only show when he says flats in Mangalore, I can give him land trade builders and developers. But if he is searching for something related to flats, I can show him one property with the elevation. So this is a new project that is upcoming projects or with 38 lakhs or 58 lakhs. So that is a display. So based on your customer persona, you can combine all these things and you can do it. Okay, but it's very rare in very few cases where combined things work. Otherwise, it's usually usually either display or a search. They go with that, because when it go with search and display, see again when it goes with display, your profit, the profit margin is little bit less. The products that are very less profit margin goes with display because displays are cheaper. For 100 rupees, you can show to 1,000 people. Okay, where you can with less budget, you can reach many people. Search is not like that. If you want that ad to be shown to one guy, 100 rupees will go. So search marketing or search network is only used where your product value or the profit that you get from a product is higher. It can be used for educational tools, job consultancy tools, where your margin on a commission may be more than 20%, 30%. Like job consultancy, you basically take a 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees at that time. For a smaller products like food, how much would be a normal food cost? 100 rupees, right? For such things, you cannot use search because it's expensive. Okay, so they go with the display marketing. So it also depends on the type of product you have. So if your product is lower value, go with display. The product margin is higher, like you are getting more than, if you sell a particular, so I will be coming out with budgeting, and I'm sure you'll understand how this budgeting is made and how to choose this particular platform. If you have a slower margin, then you go with display. If you have a higher margin, like if you have a margin of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 100 rupees for one lead, no problem, let it go. But when you're getting 100 rupees only and you're spending on search, you're not getting any profit out of it. Okay, so based on that, you have to categorize. Okay, so this is how the search and the display ads will look. See, search is something like I type insurance, okay, health insurance. So I get all these ads. So you see the difference. So search ads are all text ads. So any number, there are 4 companies that come. But if you talk about display ads, see, I can make a lot of creativity there. Something like that. So if you are into a laundry business, you can have a combination of both, or you can only have display ads, not required. People who are searching for normal laundry, saying that laundry in Mangalore or laundry in Nitte, you can show him ironing, you can make a nice creative ad of only ironing service. So people like laundry, everything comes into picture. So you are not particular about if someone searches for luxury clothing or lifestyle clothing or something like that, he may be your end customer, because if he buys a luxury dress, he will not wash in the house, he will go for laundry. So he may be a potential customer. So for such things, you can go with the display ads, where more than search ads, display ads will get you more benefits. It's like that. So based on the initial, like the 5 Ps and other things, if you have that thing, you at the end of the session, or maybe after 2 sessions later, if you have having, you can basically strategize and put this forward. Okay. See, content platforms are basically prospects where I think everyone knows about Quora. Okay, so basically you can write blogs and write contents about your company. There's some, so that you always have that brand awareness that is available. Okay, so any question? You have any question? Okay. Now, when we come to social media, so we have a lot of social media platforms, like we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, but not all platforms work with all products. It doesn't go with all businesses. Now, if we see B2B, why do you feel it doesn't go by all why all the products, all the platform doesn't go by the products that you sell?
because in B2B, business are not in social media. They don't spend much time on social media.
Exactly. Again, what comes into picture? Customer persona. See, customer persona is a particular topic. You take any marketing book. The first thing is the customer persona. If you have that thing right, that's why I said, if you have that thing right, marketing is cakewalk. Nothing. It's very clear. You need not wait. You don't need a marketing consultant. You don't need an MBA. You don't need any higher education. You need to understand what is your customer, who is your customer. Then everything is easy. See why Facebook is not directly linked to businesses, because see, if you have a particular product which is engaged in the, because see, Facebook, if you talk about demographic of Facebook, you have most of the visitors or most of the users from the age of 25. 15 to 25 are all in Instagram. So if you are selling a laundry, you cannot sell in Instagram. It's very difficult. Facebook is where you need to target your ads, because in all these particular social media platforms, you have any one of you in your business have run paid ads, sponsored ads? Facebook you have run. You?
Yeah, but
Ah.
once I tried.
Once, okay. So based on where your customers are, say if you have a particular product which is basically meant for higher generations, like senior citizens above 35, you can basically focus on Facebook rather than Instagram. Okay, Twitter also is not required, because Twitter also very youngsters, basically only for tweets. It's not for product portfolios. Now in LinkedIn is a very strong sector for B2B. If your business is directly linked to see, you are into manufacturing industry or a service industry, directly looking for a profession, you can spend less. You literally need not spend on any other social media rather than only LinkedIn. You can completely stop it, because when you have a particular sponsored ad, you spend a lot of time, because being active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, it's completely pointless. You're wasting a lot of energy. If you are purely focused on corporates, business, you can spend a lot of amount of time and budget only in the LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a very strong sector if your target audience are B2B. And also you can spend a little bit time in Facebook, but not Instagram, Twitter, YouTube is not required. Okay, so which one? In which? In which? Twitter. See, Twitter is basically it's not an informative tool. It's like, it's not something like you can put up a product and people are influenced with that. It's basically it's like a greeting tool, or putting up your thoughts, commenting on that. But in Twitter, lead generations or closings happens very less. It doesn't happen, because Twitter, see, even I hardly in a month I use once. I open Twitter, otherwise I don't use. We don't generally see in Twitter how many. See, even if you see Twitter, how long you're going to be in Twitter? Hardly for 1-2 seconds, 3 seconds. You just scroll, you see your page come out. But Instagram, Facebook, you just scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, something like that. So it's again based on the. See, this is basically what the content that I have planned is basically on the case studies and some of the things I have seen in the business startup. So most of these startups, usually when they are focused for B2B, it's always highly recommended to be in all the platforms. Highly recommended. But for a startups, it is difficult, because usually 1 or 2 members. Now, if you want to be active in all the platforms, you need a separate team, at least 1 or 2. And when it comes to social media, it cannot be, you cannot generate business or you cannot generate engagement just by doing one post in 1 month. You have to be consistent. Here, the work is about consistency. When it talks about digital marketing, it's all about consistency. If you plan 1 post a week, you have to do 1 post a week. If you do 2, you have to do 2. You cannot do 1 first week, you do 2, next week 3, then you're gone. It doesn't work. So you need to engage on a consistent basis. So if you are going with if initial startup, if you are going with all this platform, you need to create almost 5 different advertisements or creatives or content. Startup, it is very difficult unless and until you have a dedicated person to do it. So based initially at the initial stages of your startup, you based on your customer persona, you understand where your customer is. You focus time and energy only where you have your target audience. Once you capture it, then you can move forward. Once you started generating revenue, you can hire some one guy, or you can give it to some outsourced guy and please do it for me. Simple as that. Okay, so when it comes to social media, again in different campaigns, what are the different campaigns that you can run? So you have brand awareness, lead generation, and post engagements. So brand awareness is where, say, for example, see many of the startups, when they launch a particular page, or they have, sir, can I do lead generations? We will start with lead generation. See, lead generations. See, when do you go? My question for you, for everyone, is that if you see a particular ad, what is that factor that would click that ad and buy? Or say, for example, today you are searching for something. You are searching for a clothing store. You are searching for T-shirts or something like that, and you see two ads. One is name any two good fashion wares you have, fashion wear brand. Allen Solly and Zara. Okay, there are two ads that are popped up. Which is the ad that you would go click? You wanted a T-shirt now. Which is the ad you would basically go and click? You have two ads. You wanted a T-shirt. Okay, you're in the social media, right? And you see two ads. One is Zara. Zara says this is offer. Allen Solly also is in the same offer. They also have the same offers, pricing and all. Which one would you pick? Exactly. So every startups, when they do, the first thing that you need to do is brand awareness campaigns. So brand awareness campaigns are cheaper. Say, for example, you can start from 50 rupees to 100 rupees per day. See, if your business, if you are initially in the business strategy, we discussed about the digital goals. Okay, so what is the goals that we have? I need to make 5 sales this month. So brand awareness is required. You can't directly jump to a lead generation. So if your product value is say, for example, your product value is, or service value is 5,000, what is an amount you can spend? Say your one product is 5,000 and you want to sell 5 products this month. What is an amount you can spend for one day to sell 5? Maybe 100 rupees. You put 100 rupees. For next 3 months, improve your brand awareness and then start with the lead generation. So if people, because lead generations are always expensive. Lead generation for one lead, as I said, see, it's just like display and search. In display, for 100 rupees, it will reach 1,000 people. But in search, it is specific. If someone is searching for flats in Bangalore, the ad will only show to him and he will click that ad. So 100 rupees is already gone there and only one guy is in. Similar way in brand campaigns. So you have brand awareness and lead generation. If it is a lead generation, you need to understand what is the brand awareness of your brand in the market. Unless and until you don't have a proper page likes, unless and until you don't have a proper brand awareness of your particular product, you should not go with a lead generation campaign. So before you start, because many people, when they say no business, sir, you start with the lead generation campaigns. Put 200 rupees, it will run. It will never happen. So when you select campaigns, so if you want more details, I will be sending you some of the links where you have in detail how to start a brand awareness and lead generation campaigns. There are ad managers tools where you, in Facebook only, you have an ad manager tab. The moment you go there and you start create a campaign, it will ask, do you want brand awareness, lead generation, or post engagement? Post engagement is a boost post. You know that when you create you have a boost, no, that is post engagement. Again, if you go to the campaign manager, you have to ask, you want brand awareness or lead generation? So many startups or many newcomers in sponsored ads, I think you maybe heard that I spent 5,000 in Facebook, everything or nothing. Like I think you maybe have experienced it. You spend 200, it's all gone. That is because you do not, people don't understand what to do. either lead or brand awareness. So whenever you are doing brand awareness, don't expect any kind of sales from that. It is only to increase, to reach people, to know your brand. Once for 3 months, you know that this your particular brand has reached to so many people, you start lead generation campaigns, and obviously that you will start getting more leads. So whenever you're doing a brand awareness campaign, you have to be consistent for at least 2 to 3 months. Spend 50 rupees or 100 rupees every day, no problem. If you can spend 3,000 in a month for your business, do it. 3 months you do it. Then you start with lead generation campaign. Or you can do it 50 rupees. It's basically on the type of business goals that you You have a new product. Whenever you release a new product, it's always brand awareness, no lead generation. It's always brand awareness. When you have a product where people know, that's why she said, you will click that ad and enter detail or buy only when you are aware of it. If you are not aware of it, there is no point. You're simply spending a lot of money there. So first create an awareness of your brand, then automatically the buying will happen. Okay. So now, sorry, there is a spelling mistake. Okay. So now we talked about the channels. What are the different channels that are used to increase, where you can engage with the customer, generate leads and all. Now, as I said, so that is only the 20%. Whatever we have spoken is only 20% of the whole, the cycle. Now we come to a major part which gives you results. That is the lead management. See, whenever you get a particular business, when you get a particular lead, so this is a total pie chart. You have leads that are categorized A, B, C, and D. A leads are the high potential customers. Say, for example, high potential customer, you know for sure the customer wants it. B and C are like little bit here and there, but they will close within 1 week or 1 month. Now, what about D? For the D leads also, you have to spend a lot of money, right? So you need to nurture it now. So these leads are where you need to nurture these leads. These leads cannot be nurtured using a manual techniques, because see, maybe in A leads you have 10. B leads, see, I'll just show you. Okay, see, in A leads, lead A you have around 10 leads, B leads you have 15, C leads you have around 20, and D leads you have around 50 to 55. So that leads are those leads who are not even positive nor negative, they are like in between. So it is very difficult down the line, but you have paid the money. There is a lot of marketing budget money that has gone on that particular lead. So how do you convert it? Manually, it is very difficult. You cannot track of every employee, every leads, and try to follow them. So we have something called as lead management tools, basically automation tools, which you can use it for your initial startup processes. Okay. So as I mentioned about ClickSend and MailChimp, ClickSend is basically a SMS tool. Okay, whenever a website comes, inquiry comes, or a person puts in his inquiry on a phone number or an email, an SMS will go thanking him about coming and all this details and all. Similarly, a MailChimp is created where an automated process can be created. A welcome mail can be given. Then after 15 days, a follow-up mail can be given. So all these flowcharts can be created. Now, how do you integrate that? Now, integration is something called as Zapier. Zapier is a well-known marketing automation tool, which is again freely available. Okay, you can connect all your website, the ClickSend to your websites. Okay, and it will do the auto. You can set conditions. It's very easy. These Zapier tools are something like even 7th, 8th standard kid can start off. But it is very sad when I meet many people like, what is Zapier? Like, it's very sad to that such tools are made so easy, and we are not using it. So these are very easy tools that for initial, when you have a customer base of 250, 100 customer base, easily you can use these tools, and all the information are available. It's not like you need to break your head and go and talk to IT guys to set it up. Everything is there. Just one click, everything will be set up. So it's that easy. Okay, so Zapier is a tool that is basically used to automate the whole process. So now roadmap. So what is a perfect launch of a particular brand? See, this is we initially this was completely blank. You know, this was completely blank. Now see, you have come through a particular process where you have initially designed. You know what are the things that are required for a particular product. You know what are the customer psychology, how the customer buys a particular product. You understood what are the things that are structures that are required for marketing. So product cycle is done. Then you understood the marketing cycle. What are the tools that is required? Website, social media, Google Ads. You learned. Now you come to a roadmap. This is an ideal roadmap for your automated business. See, you always need a system where you see as an entrepreneur or as a startup businessman. I always feel you have to focus on the particular product. You should not focus what happens in the back end. Keeping people, getting things that is not done, this is not done. That is very difficult. So these is a branding roadmap where you use reach and attract. See, in the reach and attract, I have put social media and website. So this is what is required to reach. Then when it comes to engagement, you can use live chat bots. Flow is again auto chats, chatbots that basically see in live chat you are chatting it. Okay, but say for example at a same instant, if 10 people are inquiring, you literally can't do it. So you use something called as chatbots. So it automatically replies to as a pre-fed information. So it can basically chat without your support. So that is basically you can use tools like Flow XO. So this is again an American made tool, but it's again free of cost. Capture. What are the different lead captures? How can you capture? See, once you engage with your people who have come to your website, you have to capture those leads. And capturing those leads, you can use tools like HubSpot and Facebook. So once the leads are captured, you need to nurture them. Now, what are the tools you can use to nurture them? MailChimp and click send. Okay, and again, nurture, convert, and keep. This remains the same, where it is a loop. That goes by the whole cycle. You have to prospect the customer, engage with the customer, convert. Once the customer converts, again you have to engage. So that the customer remains with you. So to manage that, you can use Zapier, because see, this process is something that will take a long. Reach and attract, engage and capture. The time frame would be 1 day. Customer will see your ad, reach. Okay, he'll see your ad, that is reach. Engage, he clicks the ad, that is engage. Capture, he clicks the ad, goes to the website, enters detail. Capture is done. Capture is done. Now, nurture, convert, and keep. Nurture in the sense, once he enters the lead, it is not that he will go and buy. It will take some time. So it may take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. In 1 month, 3 months, you may have end up so many leads. Today, if you got 5 leads, tomorrow you got 10 leads. You cannot follow up. It's literally impossible. And many of these startups or many of the businesses or sales executives, say for example, you end up in less sales or less targets because you don't have an automation tool. It's all manual. So these tools basically helps you do your backend, your dirty works, like follow up things. All your dirty works, the Zapier will help you. Then it's basically grow, where again you can use social media advertisement and website, improving website to bring in more customers. So this is an ideal branding and marketing roadmap that is required for your any business once you set up and you want to market it. Okay. So now, anything till now, like you have any particular doubt in terms of the branding and marketing roadmap, or anything related to nurturing, conversions, or any software tools that I discussed? Yeah.
Is there are there any suggestions for logos or from your?
See, how many people, like since you all have started, see, I think it's a right question. Many, because one of my workshop, someone asked, sir, I do not know how to make a logo, how much the logo will cost. How many people have faced this problem? Logo, business card, you give it to others to do it. You don't have time, like to focus on the logo, design part. See, we are technical. Okay, if you talked about creative design, not happening. So how many people find it difficult to do a creative work? Right, everyone. Most of the engineering tool does. See, there are softwares like Canva. You can write it down. How many you Canva? Canva is a very easy tool. Okay, where CANVA. Okay. Say for example, all these Facebook advertisements, Facebook creatives, you can just do it within 5 days because the templates is there. You want posters to be done, you go type posters, you'll get all the templates. Add your content, add your pictures, done, export. It's that simple. So you do not need to be a creative guy initially to start up a business because many people, when they start up, they will hire one creative design, they will hire one website. After 2 months, no salary, you go, man, I don't have salary. That is what happened. No, no. Canva is an online base, so they give it for free. There is a yeah. See, there are few designs which are free. There are few designs which are paid. There is a subscription. If you want a paid one, you have to provide a subscription. That is also hardly $11 per month or something like that. Not more than that, 11 or $16. But 90% is free. You can use it, or you can use a blank this thing, and you can do as per you require. So it is, and you do not need any kind of techniques. See, till posters, A4 templates, presentations, brochures, you can do it there. No problem. Visiting cards, logos, everything you can do. You don't need any kind of creative design skills. Everything is there. Everything is there. So this is one tool initially for most of the entrepreneurs, what do you call non-creative or non-technical guys who are not so good with heavy softwares like Photoshop. They can use these tools to initially create an ad. You know, so it's much easier. Okay. So now we are coming to something called as budgeting. This would be the end of the whole session. So here, the budgeting is, in most of the business, initially I told about search, display, how you basically, based on the profit, you decide, right? The decision of what platform should I choose is all based on the budgeting. Now, when you talk about product, there is something called as KUKA, cost of customer acquisition. How many people have heard this term? Okay, cost of customer acquisition is where what is the price that is required to acquire a particular customer. He converts, he doesn't convert, is different. Okay, now say for example, if my product is 10,000 rupees, or say for example, I have one car, okay, BMW car is 60 lakhs. What do you think is the cost of customer acquisition? See, if you go to BMW, you see that people with suit, nicely dressed, nice, very posh, beautiful leather. They spend a lot of money. Why? Because of cost. Because the cost of acquisition is more. Because if you want to impress a guy to buy a 60 lakhs or 70 lakhs car, you need to spend. Okay. So if you say, so that is where the KUKA really matters. Say for example, you are spending, say when you are doing a particular budgeting, think you have spent 10,000. Your budget is 10,000 per month. The total leads generated or sales generated is 50, as you see on the particular slide. Now, when you have the total lead generation is 50, what is the cost of getting that 50? It is around 200 per lead. Okay, that is the KUKA, that is cost of customer acquisition. Now, in that 50 leads, only 2 are converted. 50 leads are those who had inquired, but they are not interested to buy. 2 have bought. Converted business. Now, what is an actual cost? 5,000. Okay. Now, if your product is, the profit of your product is 2,000, what is the point in spending 5,000? It doesn't work. Okay. It is like that. So, when you do this, you really need to see, this is basically, usually when people do marketing, they say, so what would be your budget? Should I put 30,000? People say, I will put 50,000, 40,000 you put now, then we will see. The moment you put 30,000, no, he will get lesser result than I don't want. So always when you start advertising, or when you start marketing, start with bits. Start with 5,000. Start with 5,000. So you get a clear picture. What is your cost? So you say, starting of the month, when I started, my business is zero. I did not get any inquiries. Okay, your cost, monthly cost spent was 5,000. Total inquiries received from that ads, how much? You say, for example, you got 10 or 50, you think the cost you have got. So you know that for one lead, I am taking 200. So if your particular product is worth 10,000 or 20,000 or something like that, so you know whether it is worth spending 200 for selling that product of 10,000 or not. So in that basis, you need to calculate. See, when it comes to real estate, we spend a monthly budget in Google Ads, Facebook or something more than 1.5 lakhs. 1.5 lakhs we spend. We get an average of 300 leads, 250 to 300 leads. And in 300 leads, at least 10 will convert. So if you actually take the 10, it's around 10 CR. So where is 1.5 and where is 10 CR? So it's something like that. You know, so you need to know your profit margin. What is the maximum profit? Based on that, you need to calculate your budget. So many people, when it comes to marketing, they have no clarity on the budgeting part. Should I put 5,000? Should I put 10,000? Or should I put 50,000? So it is much necessary when you start your first marketing campaigns, start with a basic pricing, 5,000. Okay, you know the product value. What is the profit that you're getting out of the product? Then based on the performance, you see whether you have to increase or decrease. But don't go by, people always, if you go to an ad agency, they'll say, you give me 20,000, I will do it for you. Then after that, you are not interested. So before you actually go out, it is much easier. You can actually take a paper, you basically can write it up. But if you actually want to get more profit out of your marketing campaigns and gain more, so you always have to have this, that KUKA, that is cost of customer acquisition, should be always lesser than profit per product. Okay. See, in your display campaign, see, this is where the decision of search or display works. See, your cost of a particular product, end product, is how much? 15, 25 rupees.
For one order?
One order. 200 rupees per order. So say for example, if you're that means you would have bombarded so many people to get some particular enquiries there. So your cost is only 200. What is your profit there? 50, 30%. So your profit margin is very less. So at that time, you know for sure that you can go with the display, because you know in display, if I put 100 rupees, I can show it to 1,000 people. In Facebook brand awareness, if I put 100, it will show to 1,000, because these are display ads. Display ads are way more cheaper. It's almost 1/3 of the cost rather than direct lead marketing or lead generation. So based on your profit margin, you can decide where to focus. Should I focus on digital, display ads, or search ads, or maybe lead generation? Lead generation and search ads are always given where your profit margin is high, like where you have a lot of money to play around. Even if 2,000 goes also, conversion, it's done, no problem. But if you spend 200 rupees on a product which is selling at 200 rupees, there is no point in it. Something like that. So this decision factor is really important while doing budgeting. And this is also one of the prime factor where most of the businesses don't go with advertising. See, there are many startups in Bangalore. Okay, they don't like advertising because they think advertising is expensive. I think how many people have that fact in mind that digital marketing is expensive? Digital marketing is the cheapest of all marketing platforms. Cheapest. If you see a paper ad would cost, see, I'll tell you a basic calculation. A paper ad, Udayavani paper ad that we had done for one of the launch, costed 6 lakhs, half page. 6 lakhs, half page, it was 6 lakhs. That money, if I had invested in, see, my spend for only Google ads, Google ads is hardly 60,000. Facebook and all is separate. You take 1 lakh. In 1 lakh, I generate 350 leads and I convert 10. Paper ad, I put 6 lakhs. What is the lead? I got 50. Did not convert at all. It is like that. So you can always work much effectively with budgeting. See, in paper ads, on all other traditional media, it's fixed. Radio ads is fixed. Here, today, if it's 100 rupees, tomorrow, don't want, pause it. So start it up next day. Or you can reduce the budget. You can change the content. So it's more flexible. And see, when it comes to paper, you cannot identify or you cannot catch a person. You do not know what is the insight. Here, it will give you insight. What people, how many mails, what is the number of, how many people video post, what is our demographic, male, female, age group, everything. So if you feel that your particular ad is directly targeted to, say you have a fashion brand and you are mainly focused on females. So you can directly target on female, forget the males. But a normal traditional ad, it will just go off. So that is why digital ads is almost 1/3. If many, because whenever I came into this, maybe your digital marketing is very expensive. We are okay with marketing. But after they started up with digital marketing and understanding the importance of budgeting and detail, so they got a lot of benefit out of it. So see, to get best results from digital marketing, you need to follow all the flows that I said in terms of what are the lead capture and the budgeting, the KUKA model. Everything has to be analyzed and planned perfectly. If you do this, then it can give you a lot of options. Okay, so I think that would be the end of sessions. So majorly I covered here with most of the roadmaps. See, when it comes to digital marketing, I can give you 3 or 4 hours straight lectures on Google advertisements. So it's in depth. That is already available. Okay, but next sessions I would possibly give you in depth. But the reason, as I said, is I believe personally from a product and engineering, marketing is nothing. Product, the framework is really important. If you do the proper framework, marketing is very easy. There is nothing like that. So today being the first session, my intention was to make you understand of the framework so that you go back to your drawing boards, see whether what things are missing and how can you fill the gap. So maybe further sessions, I would start more detailed in-depth discussions on the time. So it gives me opportunity. Obviously, I will be giving more in-depth detail on each platform. Like we talked about social media, Google Ads, with a workshop. So like you can have your systems and I can make you work with a particular, I can help you create one particular ad so you get an hands-on feeling. Because obviously what happens, such sessions require a minimum of only 3 hours of the practical classes. I cannot explain you in theoretical. Like the thing is, I have to do it and you have to do it with me. So such things basically takes 2.5 hours to 3 hours. So I hope everyone enjoyed the session, both in the online as well as offline. And this is my number. I think the presentations will be shared to you. This is my email ID. You have any doubt regarding to any of the channels? Say, for example, you want to go back, you want to start your basic advertisements, or you want to just start off with Zapier, email, MailChimp, or something like that. You have any problem? You let me know. I'll just help you out, or I can give you all the details and process that is related to this product. So you can just open up and start your work. Okay. So thank you everyone for the opportunity and supporting me. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny Mendon, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Puneet, sir.
Do anyone have any questions to ask? Or
any questions? Any doubts? Sorry? B2B or B2B.
And in the most that will be addressed. What would be the ideal platform?
See, when it comes to people who are offline, see, it's very difficult. See, the only thing that can reach is basically postal cards, SMS marketing, and all those stuff. But since everything is moving into digital, I think even a person who is like 60, 70, people who are in business, they have to be in digital because most of the billing happens through digital. Or else the business who is handled by would be the younger generation. So we cannot, it is not a true fact that, uh, you know, many people have this particular question. What about people who are like 80 who doesn't have any idea of social media? But to be frank, they don't run the business. The third generation or second generation runs the business. Who take the decisions? So apart, see, that is the only reason, only point where you can reach those buyers. But apart people who are elderly, who are sitting at home, the only thing is normal postcard, newspaper ads can go. But at the end of the day, it's all about a return on investment. You want to know as a startup that if I invested 100 rupees, what is an amount I'm getting out of the marketing? So based on that, you need to decide. Any other question? Are you clarified with the? Yeah. What is your business?
We are into building automation.
Sorry?
Building automation.
Welding automations.
One of our point, one of our product is the fans of automation. One machine. So we are targeting the songs in and around.
How you are targeting?
That's what we have a person contact.
So you go field marketing.
Yeah, that's right. So we just want to know whether any of this will be.
See, LinkedIn, if when you are talking about
So they are neither in that part, neither in the present and
see, when it comes to marketing, traditional media is, it's not like it's totally not required. See, even we being in digital age, even real estate, we do paper ads. We can tell we don't want paper ads, we are good in digital. But we do paper ads, we do radio advertisements, we do SMS marketing. SMS marketing, hoardings. See, we invest, landlords invest around 2 to 3 lakhs only on hoardings, which is not required. I can say we are only digital. No? 3 lakhs you give me, I can give you more leads. We don't get any leads from hoarding. No one sees the hoarding and calls us. Very rare. But still we invest 3 lakhs. See, when it comes to marketing, once you understand your customer persona, like you understand who are your customers, what is your KUKA. If you feel you can invest in hoarding and other things, you can put it up. But if you are in a very tight market, okay, and you feel that only investing in digital ad will not help, and if you have a budget permit, you can go with a non-traditional advertising techniques. But as you said, I am not directly telling that everyone has to go digital. It's again based on your customer requirements. See, a person, a watchmaker, a normal watchmaker, he may not go with the digital. He doesn't need a social media. A pani puri fellow, okay, who is selling, who is making 5,000 rupees, he doesn't need social media. A restaurant may be needing. See, a restaurant. See, I'll give you a simple example. There is a. Have you heard of Goli Vada Pav? So they are Vada Pav. They only make Vada Pav. They have a social media page. What they sell? Vada Pav. There is a guy on the roadside who makes Vada Pav. He doesn't have a social media page. He earns more than them, right? So it depends. You know.
We wanted to create this awareness that product is available for them. For that, how can we use it?
See. So for that, if such things are there, you can. I would suggest going with a social media.
One thing happened was that this was product was developed by us. We put that in the paper. And we haven't discovered with this machine. So luckily, we got treated by deputation. Saying that these people, these colleges people are in the certain strongly, and it's a good initiative. So doing that, we many of our directors.
So such things, see, when you have a particular website. Yeah.
Create the awareness among the songs or other foreign allied that such a product is because this is a kind of good product to the that. So product is that you can buy it from.
So for that, what I would suggest is, so I think initially I talked about blogging prospects, Quora, blogging, all those stuff. So you can always have a website page. Okay, in your website page, you can have contents or any new innovations or solutions that you prefer. So you can write a nice content on it. So people will try to consume, just like how people try to tweak it. Because see that is organic marketing. You need not spend on advertisements. Okay, you just need a newsletter. Okay, you can create a website, make blogs. Maybe you have something that can solve a particular problem. Write a blogs on a weekly basis. Write a blogs on a weekly basis. That you can. So this is in somewhere where, because see, even that is also again tweaking also was a digital process itself. So it is something like that. So right now, who are your competitors?
We don't have any competitors. So about new product.
So,
we are sure that it will be.
so in that case, instead of going with sponsored ads, I would suggest you doing blogs either monthly basis and sharing it, blogs in your website, because website is where you have your product featuring.
But how
Just like how you can basically make a link, share in a different groups. Say you have WhatsApp groups and other things. Everyone is there in WhatsApp. WhatsApp is also a part of digital. Right now, I think in few months, I think WhatsApp also. Yeah. So in WhatsApp, I think in few months, I think they will be started with sponsors also, sponsored ads also. So there also it is a platform where you have different groups. You can have your web links and send it, put it in the group. People will watch it. So all this is again a type of platforms only. You have a lot of groups. Facebook, you have groups. If someone is not in Facebook, at least he will be there in your WhatsApp. If that is also not available, you have Truecaller ads. Have you seen in Truecaller you have an ads? Yeah, everyone has a Truecaller today. When everyone has you see a particular ad, you can again go with the display ads. So it's up to you. See, if you know what type, if you think that customer is not using Facebook, what are the other things that he is using? He may be using something, right? He may be using a phone. He has a phone. He doesn't use your
all of them will be having
phone.
All of them will be
Smartphone.
And
No?
thing is that if they are really interested, they will come from them.
So at that time, you can basically use something called as say you can go with the Google display and only target on Truecaller ads. So whenever the call comes, your ads are shown. Or you can do SMS marketing, or you can do WhatsApp. You can do a nice blogs, put it in the WhatsApp group. You can be a part of WhatsApp group and send it. You can make a nice poster of your particular nice creative, put it in the WhatsApp group. So these are the things where you can do that. SMS, blogging, WhatsApp group, as well as the Truecaller ads. SMS with a link, yeah. Those things you can basically do that. You can do that. Go to YouTube, yeah. Even see display ads also, it is not only website. You can target both YouTube, in YouTube also when you are searching, you get the banner ads, right? It's like in display. You can target. No, that is video ads. There is a bumper ad that comes. Still search. It's a still. So those images, those are the display ads. You can target both in Flipkart or sorry, you can Truecaller as well as your YouTube. And many people in Bangalore has a habit of your customers. Maybe they are not in Facebook, but they are watching Udayavani online, the IG world and all. You can use Google Display targeted there, because all these displays, all these marketing ad, digital ad, the importance of all these digital ads is that you can target wherever you want. Say for example, you want to target this particular age group, 35 to 45, and you want to target only the IG world. You can put up a link targeting placements. You have something called as placements, where you can place your particular ad in a website, YouTube channel which you want. You can directly go placements. I can give you a demo maybe sometime when time permits. YouTube placements. YouTube, you can select a channel. You can select a channel which your customers usually go. You should know that. See, if you know, if understand where your customers are looking, if you're an engineering college, they will be looking more into prototyping, product development, engineering stuff and all. So you can identify that channel and place your ad there only. So all these things you can basically do using digital. Anything else? Solve like okay. Yeah. Puneet sir, I think Puneet sir.
Yes. So
Yeah, I think we are done with
we're
this.
done. I
Yeah, yeah.
request Diksha Rai, Ms. Diksha Rai, to give the vote of thanks, please.
Good afternoon, one and all. We have come to the end of the one-day workshop on digital marketing and branding roadmap for startups. It's our privilege to have such an eminent speaker, Mr. Candy Mendonça, sir, with us today for this workshop. Sir, we wholeheartedly thank you for enriching our knowledge on digital marketing and branding. On behalf of AIC Nitte and all the participants, I thank you once again for accepting our invite and being with us today. We look forward to have more webinars with you, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
I thank my heartfelt thanks to CASS Naik sir for beginning this program uh, with his motivational opening remarks. I thank Dr. AP Achar sir, CEO, AIC Nitte Incubation Center and coordinator of today's program, Mr. Puneet Rai sir, Incubation Manager, for organizing this one-day webinar on one-day knowledge building webinar on digital marketing and branding. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to all of you for your active participation during the session. Lastly, I thank A1 Logics for their technical supports during the session. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Diksha. Thank you, Mr. Mendonça. Thank you for
Yeah,
your time.
thank you, Professor.
And I think we'll close the call.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Mr. Praveen. Thank you, Praveen.